I was gonna be a fireman. That's what I was studying for, to be a fireman. Got my scholarships, and a life decision at one day changed everything. And I ended up going to prison for 8.5 years.
How old are you?
I was 18. I just graduated.
Really?
I just graduated.
Like fucking summer.
Yep, during summer. Blew everything away. Blew my whole life away in a flash of a moment. Not even thinking. Why? Because of the way I grew up. I wasn't gonna be disrespected.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna let somebody disrespect me. And that's what the streets do to you, and that's what you live by. You know, you're gonna show somebody you can't disrespect me. That pride kicks in real quick, you know, and my life changed fast. What side do you usually sit on?
Whichever one the guest doesn't want to sit on. I'm cute from both sides, bro.
Yeah.
I'm cute from both sides. You like that?
I don't matter to me, bro.
Yeah. So today was like the annual Christmas party.
Oh yeah.
So they have like dignitaries out and shit. You know how these work, obviously. Position this.
That's dope. Someone made it.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Friend of Ren. So shout out to friend of Ren. She made some for
Like the people that were there
Yeah.
at the event.
Mhm.
I don't want to block out your handsome ass face, bro. Come on, man.
My dad face, my dad bod face.
Yeah, we got dad bods now.
That's a
Leo
thing.
made him
It's a
fucking
thing
cool.
now, bro. It's a thing now.
I'm down for it. Fuck, man. So yeah, she made these, dude,
That's super
and
cool.
I saw her paint them on. I saw her paint them on her live, and she's like, "Oh, I made yours special because it has Batman in it, like a little type
Yeah.
Batman." I was like, "Ah, fuck it, I'll rock it. I'm down with that shit." So today, dude, was 6:45 was the check-in for the board members.
Yeah.
7 o'clock was basically people decorate the tables. So like a table competition, like the Christmas shit, you
Yeah.
know.
All the decor, the decoration, stuff like that.
And then it was breakfast. They had some music, some live music.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, dude, this one is two brothers, dude. One plays a saxophone, the other one plays a
Oh,
trumpet.
nice, dude. There's something about the sax, dude. You know what? I wish I could play an instrument. Like I know how to. Like I'm basic at the piano. I could do it. I know the concept of it. Um, but honestly, I wish I could play the sax, dude. And I mean, obviously, if I get one and practice, I probably can.
Yeah.
But if I was younger and I knew how to play, oh man, there's just something about the sax, bro. Like I don't know. It's dope, dude. I mean, I know most guys do it, but it's a sexy fucking instrument.
It's
Like,
Kenny G, baby, what's
yeah,
up?
bro, you know?
Yeah, I played the saxophone.
Do you?
Yeah, bro.
Look at you, man. Stop it, bro.
It's
It's a sexy instrument, bro.
but this is the thing though, and I've talked about this with Paco. So there's a realtor that he manages a nonprofit
Yeah.
or helps with a nonprofit because of his kids. And one of the things is like when you're in school, instruments like the saxophone, it's all marching band music.
Right.
That's what you learn,
Yep.
right? Maybe jazz band or some shit like that. But nothing odd, nothing weird. It's very kind of like by the book.
Right.
Versus saying like, hey, you know what? We're gonna have I don't know, like salsa music, right? Because like salsa bands have the fucking
Yeah.
sax in
Yeah.
there, and someone to teach you that type of music to engage kids. And so what he was saying is that they're doing like mariachi, so that the kids can play the violin like in
Yeah.
the mariachi, play the trumpet, and then in the mariachi. Because when you're doing like marching band and you're a child, like you don't understand that you can play that music in the like in another way,
Yeah.
right? You can
Yeah.
play the piano in another way
Oh,
other than
absolutely.
fucking
Yeah.
choir.
Yeah.
Like ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I played the saxophone, and then I played the tenor saxophone, and then I was in marching band and in I think jazz band.
No way, dude. So do you still play the sax, or you hung it
Nah,
up?
fuck that.
Do you
Nah.
can you play it though still?
I haven't tried it, but
Bro,
it's
it's a thing right now. So like me throwing events and stuff like especially with house music,
mhm.
bro. Like on Wednesday, I went to an event in downtown Riverside at I believe it's called King's Queens or Killer's Queens or something like that, where the old Tobacco Lounge used to be.
Okay.
So
Mission
now it's
Tobacco Lounge.
yeah. So now it's something else. I think I want to say it's King's Queens Killers or something like that.
Uh huh.
Super dope. They redid it.
Did
It's
they?
super sexy, and there was a house event there that was thrown, and bro, there's a dude on a sax. Bro, it made the vibe. It made the mood.
Yeah.
Like he was going off what the DJ was playing. It wasn't like pre ready. He was just
He's
vibing with
fucking
it.
feeling it.
Yeah, bro. And I that's not the first time I've seen it. Like traveling and like DJing in different countries, bro. It's a thing. Like you get dudes on Congos. You get dudes on a I DJ'd with this one dude. I was in what was I? Cabo. I was
Mhm.
DJing in Cabo, and this dude just came out and started riffing on a guitar, bro, and just going off of what I was playing. Oh, it was so dope, dude.
See, that's the thing, man. Like, I think at this age, I would want to learn how to play the piano, right? Like, the drums are just fucking gnarly to me.
Oh yeah, bro.
You know,
You play
like
the drums, you're just badass. Like there's
it's too much fucking hand-eye coordination. Like
Yeah.
everything's going off at different, you know.
Yeah. But
Um,
and that's the thing. A lot of people don't know the drummer is the band. Like he makes the band. Like without the drummer, there's no vocalist. There's no guitarist. There's no bass because the drummer is like the 4 count guy. So they're going off what the drummer's playing, and that's how you kind of make your band.
it's just I'm in awe of anybody that does anything artistic,
Yeah.
like on the music's, you know, obviously that's artistic, but it's just like whether you play the drums, piano, fucking the flute, whatever the fuck you play, dude. I'm just
Yeah,
amazed.
it's a
It's
cool thing,
fucking
right?
awesome,
Yeah.
man. It's fucking awesome. And so I just watched a documentary on the guy that plays on the Colbert Report. So
Okay.
like not the Colbert Report anymore. The one that he took over Letterman, the nightly show or whatever.
You got me on that one, dude.
So
Wait,
like a late night
I
show
don't really
on
watch live
ABC.
TV. So,
I don't either. I don't either. But a long time ago, I used to watch the Colbert Report, right, on Comedy Central.
oh, okay.
So it was like satire comedy. It was news. So then he actually took over Letterman's spot, I think. So his band has this like a director, right? Like a director, and there was a documentary on him, and he just won, I think, like 8 Grammys.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, dude. And so this guy is just so amazing. He plays so many instruments, how to write the music. He had Native American in like the music
Oh,
itself.
that's dope. See?
He had gospel in it.
No way.
I'm
That's cool.
like, and I'm watching this fool put this ensemble together, and just the way someone's mind works, you know.
Yeah.
So even with what you do, man, like to me, it's fucking awesome. I love that shit.
It's,
I appreciate it. It's fucking beautiful.
I mean, yeah. I mean, now like everyone does it. Like everyone wants to be a DJ, or everybody's a DJ, we should say, because of technology, which is a good thing. I don't hate on it. When it started being really big and everyone was doing it, yeah, I mean, as an older DJ, and I think every older DJ goes like through this little phase of like, man, they don't know what they're doing, or oh, it's because they're using a laptop, or because it's Serato, or
What's Serato?
it's just using a laptop. It's another like software to DJ, and it's like the main thing right now for DJs if you DJ with a laptop, right? It took me to transfer to like digital wise DJing. It took me like almost 3 years. I wouldn't give up my vinyl. Like I would still be going like DJs were coming in. They had like a laptop set up real fast, and they started playing. I was still walking in with like 2 crates of records.
Heavy as fuck, dude.
Heavy as shit, dude. And then I wasn't getting enough gigs because they're like, dude, like transfer over, bro. Like, it's just too much. and I was just being stubborn, like, nah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Like, um, I'm a real DJ or I'm a OG DJ. Like, no,
Right.
that don't mean shit, dude. Like, if you love music, you love music,
Right.
you know, and you have to go where the times are going. You have to transfer over. So if you really want to do what you love, you'll transfer over. And I eventually just transferred over, and I was like, holy shit, this is so amazing. I don't gotta carry records. I don't, I got millions of songs in a fucking hard drive. Oh, this is awesome. You know?
It's fucking Lewis, dude. You know Lewis, obviously.
Yeah.
I remember when we were kids, I used to pretend to be his manager.
That's awesome.
So we would call the nightclubs, local fucking nightclubs out here, and we'd say like, "Yeah, we're out of town," and I would be the one fucking talking, right? So I would tell him that I have an out of town DJ, we're visiting, and can we come do a set? We looked up your club, and because we were underage,
Yeah.
so they'd be like, "Yeah, come early enough, right? Come early enough. We're here, quick set, and if he's good enough, then we'll let him rock." And that's how we would get into nightclubs, dude. We were
That's
fucking
dope.
underage.
That's
Um,
awesome.
And so, but I remember those fucking boxes, dude.
Yeah,
And
bro.
so you have to adjust with the times, right? If it's like, I mean, you could always stay old school. You could always pop out the records,
Oh, I
right?
still do.
All fucking
Now it's like a thing. Like
like
oh,
nostalgia.
yeah, like whoa, he has vinyl. Like that's super dope. And I still have all my vinyls from like the 90s. I have vinyl that my parents gave me, like original press. I have like I think the first press of Madonna, Prince, all of Michael Jackson's. Um, like I grew up on Motown, so I love Motown. So I have a shitload of that. And then I was just going through listening and discovering different music and genres. I just fell in love with everything. Like as a DJ, I love house. I'm a house head. I love DJing house. I love spinning house. I love anything with vocals, anything that has any type of like sexy vocal or like a hard like hip hop vocal to it with house. Like I love it. It's just there's something about it. It's house music brings different cultures together, different race together. They don't care who you are on the dance floor when it comes to house. Don't get me wrong, I think all music is like that, but in like certain places, the music's gonna either bring the tension of violence or set a mood of let's have a good time.
Yeah.
It's just music speaks. It does. It really does. People don't realize like you can have the most shittiest. So I always used to tell people, I don't know, dude, what names did you remember you guy? Like what DJ names? Because I had a few. What? Did you remember me as O? We met when I was DJ O, DJ
Well,
Orgasm.
You're still DJ Orgasm in fucking my book, bro.
So when I came up with that name, when I did my vacation time. And I used to read a lot and I would read the dictionary a lot. And music was really like my thing while I was away. And I saw orgasm. Like I came across it while I was reading the dictionary. And I was like, okay, like I want to know the definition of orgasm. So definition of orgasm is to release like some type of, not I want to say some type, but you release a pleasure. You release something, like it makes you something that feels good. Like you're in this like euphoria when you release, right? I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's cool as a DJ name. So I didn't have that name for the sexual part of it. I had the name because when I was on the decks and I was playing, I felt like I was letting people release their tension of a hard day's work. I felt like if you had the most shittiest day, or you got in a fight with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, or you just nothing's going right for you in life right now at that moment in time, when you're on that dance floor, you're just releasing it. You're forgetting about it. And I was that doctor that gave it to them. So that's why I came up with Orgasm at the
Dr.
time.
Orgasm?
Yeah, DJ Orgasm. And then it went from DJ O, and then those that know me, like Jay and, Ozir, rest in peace, they'd call me Orgasmo.
There you go. Orgasmo.
Yeah, and I ended up changing it years back because I entered a Red Bull competition.
A Red Bull?
Yeah, Red
Okay.
Bull and Dave and Buster's competition. I just out of the blue, I signed up. I sent a submission. I got qualified. Cool. So I went. So many great DJs, so many fucking talented DJs. And I was just like, dude, I am not gonna even make it to the top. And I ended up making it to three finalists. And the rep of Red Bull and the rep of Damon Busters that were representing the DJs for that competition, they pulled me to the side and like, hey man, like we love what you do, we love the way you DJ, but is there any way you could change your name? And I was like, what? No. Like, no, that's my name. They're like, well, we can't advance you if you keep going, we can't let you go further. And at the time I was just like, what? Why? And they just said, well, if you win, how do we market that? We can't market that name. Like this is Red Bull. We have 15-year-old kids that drink Red Bull. We have, older people that drink Red Bull. It's a daily drink for people sometimes. How do we have you go represent us as Orgasm?
Like,
And then when they broke it down, it made sense to me. And
so let me ask you about that, because sometimes in business you have to bend.
yeah,
You have to bend, and I think sometimes we want to stick to our guns, like we're proud,
right.
our ego. Um, but it's more or less like, does this really take away from me? Does this really take away from my art? Does this completely change my art? Like you start having those thoughts,
Oh
like, fuck,
yeah.
dude, like, how attached am I to this name? Is it me, or do I mature? That would be another
Yeah,
thing. Do I
yeah.
mature? Do I
And
change?
that's where it came down to. Like I was disappointed and like I was in a funk. I was like, man, what do I do? Like this is like you said, like it was me. Everybody knew who I was as Orgasm. Like they just knew, oh, or Orgasmo, or everybody just knew me. I had a slogan: "Show me your old face." I had shirts, I had stickers. I market myself so much that was me. It was me, right?
You're attached to it.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
hard. It was super hard to get rid of, and like I stopped. I think I stopped maybe for like almost a year, just not DJing at all, because I didn't know who to go by after that. Because it hit, it like really hit from a business side. Like, oh wow, like I was just so focused at the club side, I didn't really see the business side of it, and so I kind of just sat there, and I was like, all right, I guess. So I changed my name, but I didn't even change it. Like my wife changed it. She was just like, we're driving one day, and I don't know how it came up, and I was like going through like a list of names, and she's like, you need to market like your name, like you need to market your real name, so that way it's marketable. All right, cool. So I was coming up with all types of names: Filthy Rich, Dirty Rich. Like I was still kind of just trying to figure it out, and then I don't know, out of nowhere, she's like Illis. She's like, Illis Rich, do Illis Rich. And I was like, Illis? And I started writing it down on paper, seeing how it looked. And, I was like, hey, it's cool, it fits. And then I started asking people, like, hey, what do you think of this and that? I was trying to get feedback. Oh, that's dope. I like it. So I go by Illis. Like, a lot of people now know me as Illis Rich. Then I made an alter ego because I wanted to go back into, like, the Illis Rich is like my open format name. And, that's like when I travel and DJ. That's like my format name. When I'm only doing format, like hip hop, whatever, all genres of
What
music.
does that mean? What does format mean?
Open format is like as a DJ, you play everything. You
Okay.
you cater to whatever event it is, you're playing pretty much everything. If it's not just
A
a hip
particular
hop or
genre.
yeah, a particular
Okay.
genre, like you play everything. So I was
Okay.
like, all right, cool. I worked with that. I think I did that for almost. This happened in 2009, I think, or 10.
It's a long
And
time ago.
yeah, and then I just made a name with Illis Rich, and then I wanted to put my feet back into like the house community and like the rave scene again, because that's how I started. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make an alter ego, and my wife and a few of our friends, they're like her girlfriends and like girlfriends that we know that are just close to us when we go out. They usually call me Zaddy instead of Daddy. So I was like, oh, I like that. So and I love house, so I was just like, fuck it, House Zaddy. So that's how I came up with that one. And so in the house community, I'm House Zaddy. And
How's Zaddy? Yeah, when I emailed you, I'm like, hey, how's Zaddy?
yeah, it's everyone's like Zaddy. I was like, yeah, I don't like being called daddy. It's weird to me, you know. Yeah,
But I'll take Zaddy.
yeah, I'll take Zaddy.
It's dude, honestly, like to change your name, I think it's tough because sometimes like we're looking like on our side, right? Like the performer, the talent,
Mm.
um, but we're not looking at it from a business standpoint. And from the business standpoint, both you and I would agree that that was a fantastic choice.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
you run that business, you're the CEO of that business, you're like, nah, bro, like I get you're the talent, but I have all this other money that is coming in from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's hard to let go, dude. It's
It
hard to let
is.
go, but it's also hard to get that perspective.
It was when I let go, it was hard. When I revamped, so many doors opened for me. Like it was so crazy. It was like the universe knew, like, all right, it's time to put this to rest. You know, you had your fun. Like it's time to, if you really want to do this, you have to, like, we're gonna be serious about it. So the universe just like, I think once I changed my name, I had it for like a year, and I had a good friend. She was um she was once a club promoter for lesbian clubs in West Hollywood. So I DJ'd in West Hollywood for like 5 years straight, just going strong. I was like like I would drive from out here from the IE to LA like every week. And then she became a DJ, which was awesome. Like I encouraged her, do it. And great person, great DJ, great, just overall was a great person. And she was actually doing the AVN Awards. She was the DJ for the AVN Awards.
Yeah, I've
And
seen those on your stories, fool. I'm like, I want to hang out with that
and
fool.
so I would go and support her. She'd like, hey, I'll be in Vegas. You know, I'm doing the award show. Come down. I was like, yeah, definitely. Cool. So I was out there one year with her. I went out there. She did it for like 2 years straight. The second year I was out there and I was like, I don't know what I was doing. Right? I was in a parking lot. I don't remember what, I think it was the Hard Rock parking lot when the Hard Rock was around. And I was just looking out like at just Las Vegas. I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna play in Vegas. I know I will. And I just kept on. I just told myself that. And then maybe, actually, the following year, she had called me, and she's like, "Hey, you're producing music, right?" I was like, here and there. I've done a few tracks, you know. Like she's like, "How many? Yeah, more than 10?" I was like, "Yeah, more than 10." So I sent them to me. I was like, "All right, but they're not hip hop. It's more like electronic house. Send them to me. Just send it to me." I was like, "All right, cool." So I sent them to her. Dude, and like 3 hours later, I got a phone call from the president of AVN Awards. I got a phone call from the vice president of Showtime. And they're like, hey, we're looking for a producer to produce original tracks for the show. We like what you have. Let's sit down and let's figure this out. I was like, oh, okay. I was just blown away. My friend, her name's Starlet, DJ Starlet. And
Shout out to DJ
yeah,
Starlight.
shout out to her. What, you know, honestly, I probably like a lot of doors open because she, like, I started off with her, and she's, you know, she's an amazing person, and I think she's actually, yeah, she's a centerfold for Playboy. Like, she's an amazing person. And so she called. She's like, hey, yeah, she's like, surprise. So I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. So that called, and we talked. They're like, yeah, I could produce tracks for you for the show. And they're like, all right, cool. So we sat and talked. And then I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want me to go by my DJ name since it fits, like my old DJ name, or do you want me to stay Illis Rich? And they're like, well, what's your old DJ name? And I was like, Orgasm? They're like, no.
Not even in this
Yeah,
industry.
right.
Yeah.
So it was just like too much. And so I was like, all right. And so the vice president of Showtime was like, wait, you're a DJ as well? I was like, well, yeah, that's how I started. I'm a DJ. And he's like, okay, so why should I have you produce music and then have another DJ play your music when you can play your own music? And I was like, well, okay, like what are you guys trying to tell me? And they're just like, well, we want you to DJ too. And I was like, well, okay, let's pump the brakes here real quick. I go, I'm not gonna do that because my friend gave me this opportunity, and I'm not gonna go and just step on her and say, yeah, I'll do it. If she says it's okay, then I'm perfectly fine. But she needs to say it's okay. They're like, okay, go ahead and ask her. I said, I'm not asking her. You guys got to call and ask her. I am not doing that. You guys want me to do this? Then you need, out of respect, you need to ask her if it's okay. And they called her, and she's like, they had their conversation, and then she called me. She's like, hey, I just got a call, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, what do you think? I was like, well, if you say no, then I'm not doing it. I'll produce the music if they still want me to do it, but I won't DJ. If you say no, I won't do that. I won't do that to my friend. Like, you're my friend, and we just don't do that. Like, as a DJ, you shouldn't do it, but it does happen a lot. But I told her I'm not gonna do it if you say no. Like, that's your thing. You worked hard for that, and I'm not gonna take that away from you. And she's like, nah. She's like, I wouldn't want anybody else to do it in the world but you. So
That's so dope.
It was dope. It was an amazing moment, dude. And this was in 2015. I got the AVN Awards, and I've been with the AVN since then. And so every year in January, I produce and DJ for the AVN Awards, which if nobody knows, which is the adult award show. That's the porn awards. It's the Oscar of porn. That's what it is.
I mean, those are the only ones I watch.
But it's cool, and it's not even what people think. Like, it's the most glamorous award show that you probably will ever see, minus like the Oscars, obviously. But this is the time for the stars to like really glam up and dress up and go all out. People, like, if you've never been there, people are like, oh shoot, like they're gonna be running around naked. No, they're naked. That's what they do. So they don't want to be naked. They want to dress up. They want to look super glam. Like, the guys want to have like some dope tuxedo on. The women want to be super glam, and it's super sexy. It's super sexy. The show is super dope. When I first did, I didn't even think about like how sexy it was. And it's super just like. It's the Oscars. It's really like the Oscars of fucking porn. Like, that's what it is. And I pretty much do what the guy that you hear on TV on the Oscars, the music in the background, that's me. Okay. I do that live because it gets recorded for Showtime. So pretty much if I fuck up, the whole show gets messed up. They got to go through all that editing. And if you know about editing, it's
a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. So I have to always be on point. I have to be on cue of everything. So, like,
that's a lot of pressure, bro.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot. I have to set the mood. So, and I get to work with different artists too. So, like, last year was who was it last year? I forget. But I've worked with Lil Wayne. I worked with Cardi B, Diplo.
Like, they perform?
They perform.
Okay.
They perform. So I'm their opener. I get to open for all these like amazing artists, which is super cool. It's super dope. Sometimes I get to meet them, sometimes I don't. It just depends on their manager or their entourage. And they're giant ass artists. They don't want to.
If time permits.
Yeah, and usually it don't, because I'm doing the show. They're performing, and they go back and they go to the green room. They do like 3, if it's the main headliner, whoever's like performing, they do like 3 songs. So they'll do an open, they'll do a middle, and they'll do the end. And I'm like in the shadows. Nobody even knows like where the fuck I'm at. Like, I'm in the shadows. And so like there's few moments where I get to like, hey, hi, what's up? Or, if I'm lucky enough, I'll get a picture. But other than that, it's show
That's
business.
Cool, man. It's cool because it's obviously it's all 3 different forms of art, right? Obviously, like the music, the producing, and then the other piece is the performer, right? That's up on stage. The performers that are actually there. It is an art. If you want to say, porn isn't, it depends on the kind of that you end up liking. Right?
It's a $1 billion industry.
Well, yeah.
Everybody, it's human. So this is what I tell people. And it might sound weird to somebody, but this is facts, right? You are not here because you magically were here. No little bird came and dropped you off. Your mom, your dad saw each other. Your dad thought your mom was super ass hot. They made it in. poof, you're here.
They're bumping
Yeah.
uglies.
Before that, it was your grandparents.
Yeah.
It's human nature. But us Americans in the States, we're the only country that is so taboo about it. So taboo about it. They're just so close-minded. Like, ooh, you have sex? Like, no. It's not.
It's still recording, so we're good.
It's not. It's not. Like, it's nothing ugly. I mean, yes. I mean, if you're doing something that's not permitted, then obviously it's bad. But if two consensual adults come together and they know what they're doing, it's something beautiful if you really think about it. It's magical. Two human beings have this chemistry and they just meet and there's something about it. It's a beautiful thing if you really think about it. It's nothing gross.
It's honestly, dude. I just posted a reel. I was talking with Vivian. I did a podcast with her last week, and just telling her certain things of the way I joke around. Right. Very sexual. Sometimes I'm pushing the line because they're all in jokes, right? And I think in the real world, a lot of people don't get offended. They can fuck with you, whatever. But online, people get like super triggered, right?
Bro.
Not the real world. And so this is the whole thing about like the porn stuff, the sex stuff, that to each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own. I met this really nice girl at the tattoo convention. It was two nice girls and a gentleman. And they do where he's drilling stuff and like sparks are flying off and it's going on them.
I've seen that.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same person.
Yeah.
But I see them like so often. They usually go to the conventions.
Yeah, they go to conventions.
Yeah, like Exotica.
Yeah, that type of stuff, right? And they do like the hooks on their back, and she's doing fire breathing. She's like twerking on glass.
I never seen that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
that's kind of scary.
Yeah, for real. And so then I always escape every time I go places. So like when we'd go like party and hang out, I'd always find like a little corner just to like go be by myself, be quiet. So I went outside at the LA Convention Center, like where the artists are.
Yeah.
And then she was out there. I'm having a cigarette. She's having a cigarette. I think she may have been having a cigarette. Sweetest girl. Super nice. She starts telling me that like I think her dad was like in fire breathing, and I might be messing up the story, mixing it with like other people, but as far as like the girl and her personality was just
genuine.
She's
a human being.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of people don't get. Like a lot of my good friends are in the adult industry.
That's what I'm saying.
I know their government name. They know my kids. I go have dinners with them. They're human beings. What they do for a living is what they do. That's their choice. If they're happy doing it, let them do that. Who are we or anybody to say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that? That's their choice in life.
We all like sex, right?
I
think we all like sex. They get paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
They fucking get paid for it. They say, do what makes you happy. Sex makes us happy.
If you're happy sweeping floors, hey, be happy in life. That's what makes you happy.
That's what makes you happy, dude. So it's like it's tough because I've had a lot of friends back in the day that were strippers, right? A lot of female strippers, whether they were friends or girls I was playing around with or messing around with, whatever.
Acquaintances,
or porn stars, right? A lot of porn stars, and then they're friends, they're nice. I might not do that for myself, but I'm also going to respect that that's your life. Yeah. Right? Just like I might not agree with someone's political views or religious views. Yeah. I could still be your friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could still be your friend.
That's, I think, what's wrong with me personally, my opinion, is wrong with this generation. They don't really see things the way we seen it when we were growing up, right? They're too sensitive. Like you said, anything you put online, it's, oh no, that's bad. And it's because it's the way they're reading it. They're reading it the way they want to read it.
Yes.
It's in their mind of like, oh, they must be talking bad about me, or they must be saying something insulting. No, it's because your thought process is saying that. Not that person could be like, hey, blah, blah, whatever it may be. But that's what we come to now in this world. It's so crazy, dude. Like I was having this conversation not too long ago with somebody else, and just how sensitive this world is now. You know, like I'm not gonna say I'm better because I grew up in a different era. You know, I'm more than sure there was more sensitive kids too in my time, but it just got to this point to where like you can't say anything. Like, you can't say anything. If you say something, oh, here comes a clone because they want to record you. Because okay, like it's crazy.
It is, dude. I don't. So two things. I used to get a lot of fucking negative comments on TikTok. Right. So when I was TikTok viral,
Yeah.
before they fucking canceled my account,
we'll get it back, everyone.
Yeah, we'll get it back. So people would leave messages.
Yeah.
So one example was 2-3 days ago. I was rocking some tennis shoes. I'm wearing a certain sweater, whatever. And I said, I look like a fuck boy, all right? I'm talking shit.
Yeah, bro. You know what? I barely found out what that was maybe like 2 years ago.
I still don't know what it is.
I was like,
but
what the fuck, a fuck boy? What is a fuck boy? Like,
I still don't know what it is. Whoever knows what a fuck boy is, let me know.
I mean, I know a boy toy, you know, a toy, fucking, but a fuck boy, I was like, wow. I was like, all right.
Yeah. So I guess I looked like one the other day, and some guy commented, and he said, aren't you too fucking old to be wearing what you're wearing? And so my response was 3 laughing emojis. I said, 100%, that's exactly the point I'm making.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me. It doesn't offend me. But people go off on my comments, dude,
crazy,
talking shit to them for that comment.
Yeah.
Like as if they're defending me. And as if I'm triggered, as if I'm bothered on behalf of me. And I'm like, yo, dude, when I read comments, I read them as if like fucking Dominic were to talk some shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you wearing, bro?
Yeah.
It's a joke from a friend being offensive, but also being funny.
Yeah.
And so it's exactly what you said, where it's how are you interpreting what I said based on your worldview? That's not my fucking fault. You got a fucked up worldview.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it went in your head, you recycled it, and you thought I meant to say something. No, I didn't.
I think as we get older, we see everything a little different. I know for me personally, I see so much things differently. I know how to like turn the other way now. I know how to like, you know, I have a lot to lose instead of making that dumb decision of talking shit back to somebody or, you know.
Does it bother you though? Like if you read a negative comment online, does it like about you? Does it bother you?
A little. I mean, I'm human.
Okay.
It's human. It's human nature. You're gonna be bothered. You know, there's nobody's not gonna not be bothered. Be like, oh yeah, fuck that. Like, whatever. Yeah, you can joke about it, but somewhere down there, it hurts because you're just like, man, I'm just trying to be me, and why can't I just be me without somebody saying something negative? But that's the problem of this world. Everybody wants to be negative, and it takes so much energy to be negative and depressed and like look at everybody like in a bad way. And when you could just smile and it doesn't take no energy at all and it makes somebody happy throughout it. Like I make a habit for me. I learned this from somebody, right? To open a door. I mean, I've always open doors for women, you know, or for girls or young ladies, you know, that are walking because I mean, I'm married and I have a daughter. So I want them to know that that's especially with my daughter, this is what men, young boys should do for girls. But it's just something small like that or a smile. Like I won't say I do it every day, but I try and I'll smile at somebody rather and just say, "Hey, how you doing? How's it going?" You know. Even with the unfortunate, like with homeless people, do I give them money? No, I don't. I won't. That's my thing. I won't do it. I'll ask them like, "Hey, are you hungry? Do you want a beer? I'll go buy you a beer if you want a beer. I got no problem buying you a beer. Are you hungry? I'll buy you some food if you want some food. No, I just want some money." And I'll ask them, "I'm gonna give you money. You're just gonna go get dope, right?" Like I don't care. I'm not the cops, but just be honest with me. That's your fix, right? Well, yeah. I said, no, I don't. I'm not gonna give you it for that. I'll give it to you because you're hungry, and I'll buy you food. If you're thirsty, I'll buy you a beer if you want a beer. You know. Like I'm not gonna just here you go.
It's I've done the same thing, man, and they're honest.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are you hungry? They're like, nah, man, I want to fucking drink.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, go get a beer.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get you a beer. But if they're for drugs, it's like I'm not gonna enable that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
And I'm not
nah.
gonna say I'm an angel, and I'm not gonna say
No, of course not,
I
but-
never made bad decisions in my life. But do I support that? No, because
Yeah.
I can't show people that are around me like, oh damn, like you're gonna support his habit.
Right.
Like that's not cool. Like, and unfortunately, in the situation, whatever they're in, you know, and why they're there, it sucks.
Yeah.
You know, I wish nobody was like in those situations. You know, I grew up around it. I grew up around drug abuse. I grew up around the gang life, and
Where'd you grow up at? What city?
I grew up in Norwalk, in Los Angeles,
Norwalk is by where? Like,
by Whittier.
Okay. Okay.
So the southeast of LA.
okay.
So I
Like
grew up.
605.
Yeah, right off the 605 Imperial, right there, Rosecrans.
Okay.
I was born in Montebello. I was born in East LA, like the east
East
part.
Los.
Yeah, I was born there, lived there for maybe till I was like 10, and then I grew up in Norwalk. My whole family's from Norwalk, so they always grew. All my families lived there for their whole lives. So that's where I grew up. I ran in the streets in there. I grew technically. So there's different parts of Norwalk. I grew up in the one ways, which is like the neighborhood. Like that's if you're not from there, they'll know you're not from there.
It's
So
like
you ever see?
training day?
Yeah. No, well,
Call-
because the streets are all one way,
Right.
but there's no signs that say one way because they're all gone. So if you don't know which way you're going, they'll know
Yeah.
you're not from there. So I mean, obviously you've seen the movie Grease, right?
Yeah.
So the high school that they're at is literally across the street from where I grew up.
Okay.
So it was called Excelsior High at the time. Now it's not a high school no more. It's like I think a Chinese church, and I think it's a community center now. But it's an historical building.
Okay.
It's been there for years. So that's like the area I grew up. I grew up there. You know, my dad's from there. You know, I'm from there. Like I am from like the neighborhood. I just grew up like that. That was my way of life for years.
Is it so like when I worked South Central, man, it was hard for me to understand that a lot of the kids in that area haven't been outside of South Central. Like they haven't been to the beach.
Oh,
You know, they haven't been to the mountains. And they feel stuck. Like they sound stuck when I talk to them. It's like, bro, just go fucking 10 miles that way.
yeah, that's all it takes, bro.
Go 10 miles that way.
And
And I promise you, your life will change.
And all it takes is to get up and be like, you know, I'm gonna go do something different. If you break your habit of what you do on your daily routine and just hit a right or hit a left, just something small. I always tell people that all the time. Do something different, because you get people like, oh man, everything's always the same. You know, I'm at work, it's the same. Okay, do something different. What do you mean I don't have the money for it? You don't have to have the money to do something different. You get up one day and do something different. Turn on some music and just start dancing. That's something different. You never know, that might change your life.
Dude, my mom would tell me, you ever feel in a rut? She goes, simple thing. Instead of getting on the freeway, take the streets to work. Take
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
take different streets. You know, go down San Bernardino, go down Arrow. Like, just take a different path. You never fucking know. You never know that if you went down that street, you might see something. It may trigger something. You might hear something. You never know. She goes, take a different street. Take a different path to work. She goes, your life will change.
It's a crazy thing.
And it sounds ridiculous, right? It sounds ridiculous.
It's so easy too.
But it's so easy, but
Yeah.
it sounds ridiculous. But I've said, you know, to get to my house, there's two exits. One exit is a long road, windy road, and it's really quiet, desolate. Or I can get off on the main road. And I always think about, depending on which exit I get, how does my life change? Because I'm literally making a choice to get off at a different point in time. And what if I avoided an accident? What if, a bunch of what ifs. But all throughout your day, that's exactly what you're doing. You're creating your future with every single little decision, with every single word you say.
Bro.
You're creating a future. So if you do make a different choice, get up at a different time, go to bed at a different time, maybe do some push-ups, watch a different show, read a book. It's something so simple. And then the other piece I would say is if you like going down that path, it's what my production partner Mike always says. It's the compound effect,
Mm, yeah.
like over and
Yeah.
over, and then you just gradually 5 years later, you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're somewhere else in life.
Yep. Oh, strongly believe that, bro. Strongly believe that. I would never imagine I would be where I'm at in life today if if I could go back and just look at myself at like 15, maybe 13, 12, within my teen years, right? I would never imagine I would be where I'm at today. Ever. I never even thought I would be where I'm at. Like, didn't even think about traveling the world. I didn't even think about being in music. And I always loved music, but I never thought I'd be DJing and traveling the world doing it, or meeting superstar people, or, just things like that. Like, so the way, I don't know, how do I go about this? So don't get me wrong, I had a great life growing up. Obviously we didn't get the golden spoon, but it was an adventure, I mean, grew up in the streets, saw my dad gangbang, was with my dad's gangbanging. I think I was like 6. I was with my dad, saw him get out of a car, fight some other dudes, got shot at with my dad. I was like 7. Um, so that was my life. That's what I knew. So I knew it was. I grew up with the code of um, honor, don't disrespect, never snitch. That's how I grew up. Be respectful, and people will respect you. That's how I grew up. So that's all I knew. Don't be disrespected. And then, so long story long.
As long as you want, my friend. I ain't going nowhere.
We had I think my grandma, she had passed away. She already moved out here in the IE, and we moved out there, didn't like it, moved back to LA. And this was like in the late 80s, mid 90s, right? Went back to LA, come back and forth, come back and forth, come back and forth. Um, I ended up coming back out here in 96, 97. Went to high school. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm screwing up anyway. So, let me at least finish high school. Let me at least be the first one to finish high school in my family, right? So I ended up going to high school.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Redlands.
Okay.
I graduated from Redlands. I went to Colton High for a little bit.
That's like the desolate one on the other side of the 10 freeway, or no?
Which one, Colton?
Yeah.
Yeah, right off of like Mountain View, somewhere in there. I think it's
Okay.
Mountain View. It's off the 10 though. 10
It's
is.
off the 10.
Went there for 1 year, maybe 2 years. I went to a private school actually too, and I think that was the most time I've really like paid attention and learned, and like got good grades, because there was really nothing to distract me.
Oh, boys' school or?
No, it was co-ed.
Okay, okay.
But I mean, I learned a lot. I really did.
Were you good in school?
If I sat there, yes.
Yeah.
But majority of the time I fucked around. So Cohen
Like
High,
class clown or just fucking?
well, I just didn't like to listen. I just was that kid that you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, if I thought you were wrong, then you were wrong.
Right.
Cohen High, I got thrown out of Cohen High. They were trying to actually throw me out of the district because a teacher that came by, I won't say his name because this was years ago, and I don't know what he does for a living. But this is the 90s, so yeah, it was taggers, it was gang members, it was the party people, so we all wear big clothes, right? And I think I had some big Ben Davises on, and some Nikes, and the teacher just comes by, and he was like a big dude, and he had like these, like, I don't know what kind of shoes were they, but I can't explain them, but they were fucking, like, they hurt.
Uh-huh.
But I was like sitting out, and I was like this, you're a kid, and he just comes and he kicks my fucking leg, dude.
Oh, wow.
And what? And like I started talking crap, and he starts yelling at me, and So he turned around. I picked up my desk. I chucked it on him, threw it on him, straight at him. So they try again. Like they try to like press charges, and so they were like, "Well, he can't come back to this district then."
Yeah.
So I got lucky. I didn't get charges pressed on me because he hit me first. He struck me first. So I got kicked out of Colton district, and then I wasn't going to school for a while, and I saw a neighbor, and the neighbor like we're talking, and I was like already my mid teens. And he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah. Chopping it up. He's like, "Where are you going to school at now?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't go to school." And he's like, "Well, do you want to go to school?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I guess." I don't know. Shit. He's like, "Well, I
So
go
this is a
to I
neighbor
go
like your age though?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah."
okay.
He's like, "I go to a private school, and this is what it is." And like,
Where's
you
this
know,
private school at?
it was in it started off in San Bernardino, and then it ended up in Colton. Are you familiar with like Grant Harrison Colton?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Like
you
the
know that big
215?
old hill?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
Japs Hill.
I
It's
don't.
called Japs Hill.
Okay.
So you can see it off the 215. It's
Yeah.
like the giant hill. Go
It's
up to
it's
Grand
nice,
Terrace.
dude, because when you go to Grand Terrace, I've said this many times, it feels like you're in a different fucking world.
Oh yeah, dude.
Bro, it feels like you drive, like you went to the Midwest or something.
So
Like, I don't know, it's so
it's
weird.
so crazy, right? I always liked Grand Terrace when I was young. I was like, man, one day I'm gonna live up here.
Mhm.
Like back then, it was like, man, you made it.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
It
so
feels different.
So I ended up going to a private school, and I got sponsored to go to this private school. So my parents didn't have to pay. So I got sponsored to go, and I went there for my sophomore, and I got kicked out of there. Unfortunately,
No
I,
wonder why we were friends, man.
unfortunately I told, and I was like that bad kid. Like I was like, you know, I was selling things to
Candies.
kids, yeah, that shouldn't have been sold. And this is the '90s, so there was a lot of hallucination going on.
Yeah.
But I don't condone this, and I'm not proud of it as a motor now. But I end up telling the teacher, who was like the pastor, the principal. Yeah, I pretty much told him, yeah, you could go to hell, and it threw me out. So I was out of school, went back to LA, went back, just running around amok. And then my senior year, I was like, fuck, you know what? Yeah, I need to do something. So this is what I told myself. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to school. My At the time, I, my mom lived out in Redlands, and I don't associate with my mom. But she lived out there, so I was like, all right, fuck it. She convinced me, like, all right, that might be good. Nobody knows me. I don't know nobody. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna study. I'm not even gonna mess with her. I'm not even gonna get a girlfriend. Like I was like that determined to like finish high school, and I went there. It was cool. It was cool. I did graduate. I actually graduated with honors. I got 4 private scholarships.
Oh shit.
When I graduated, I was gonna be a fireman. That's what I was studying for, to be a fireman. Got my scholarships, and a life decision at one day changed everything. And I ended up going to prison for 8.5 years.
How old are you?
I was 18. I just graduated.
Really?
I just graduated.
Like fucking summer.
Yep, during summer. Blew everything away. Blew my whole life away in a flash of a moment. Not even thinking. Why? Because of the way I grew up. I wasn't going to be disrespected.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to let somebody disrespect me. And that's what the streets do to you, That's what you live by. You're gonna show somebody you can't disrespect me. That pride kicks in real quick, and my life changed fast without even knowing it. It changed fast. I didn't go to jail. Actually, I didn't go to jail right away. I went on the run for another year. They finally found me. Went to court. Went to trial, and lost by jury. So technically, and by the grace of everything, by being blessed, and maybe God has something for me, and if as I get older, I was not even supposed to be here. I was supposed to do life. It changed it really changed everything. So I learned a lot. Went to prison when I was like almost like about 19 now. But so I got out in 2006. I didn't even know what a cell phone was. I didn't even. I was in there when the pagers were still there
So
around.
you didn't know what a selfie was, bro.
No, I didn't know what a selfie was. I didn't know what the fucking internet was. Um, I was, it just I did my thing while I was busted. You know, um, do I regret what I did? No, not at all. No, I did it because I did it, and I chose to do what I did to. And you know, did it change me as a person? Absolutely.
So let me ask you that, because I agree with you, but then I also don't know the circumstances, right, about
Right.
your situation. So I still say to this day, I don't regret anything I've done up until this point, right? Like I'm not gonna change shit.
Right.
Fuck
Oh
that.
yeah.
Because I wouldn't have the perspective that I have now. I wouldn't be the man I
Yeah.
am today,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And so if I had to, break hearts, break faces, I did what I fucking did,
Yeah.
and do I feel sorry for maybe the pain that I caused? Totally. Like,
Yeah.
maybe they didn't deserve that. I was going through my shit,
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
So I'm assuming you feel the same way about whatever the situation was, where it's like I
Oh.
feel sorry for maybe what I did, but I still don't take it back, or I mean, I don't know. Yes and no.
In a sense, yes and no. Yeah, I would say yes and no.
Yes and no.
Do I feel sorry for what I did? No, I don't.
No.
I don't. Am I? How can I put this? Am I happy that that person's still alive and okay? Absolutely. I wish nothing but the best for that person.
Okay.
I hope he's living a great life, and
But there's consequences.
Oh, absolutely. Because
to
I mean, if somebody would have did what I did to that person to me, I have to wake up every day and look in the mirror and see those scars. Of course, you're gonna be angry. There's no way you're gonna forgive somebody. At least I wouldn't. You know, if he did forgive me, hey, that's awesome. Because we were both kids at the time.
So what happened? Like, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, no, I already did my time for it.
Yeah, okay.
So I was already convicted for it, so
Yeah.
it don't matter to me. So pretty much a group of kids, and they weren't even gang members; they were jocks.
Mm-hmm.
Got involved in another dispute because they're friends. And this is all at the new school, right? I end up beating the shit out of one of their friends, and so everybody try to get involved. And dude, you don't want to be involved. Trust me. Like let the dude take his ass whipping, bro, and then let's call it a day, and whatever, whatnot. No, this is the '90s, so everybody was being tough shit.
Honestly, man, like, I mean, I fucking wish that if I had a disagreement with you and we're both grown ass fucking men, let's throw blows, bro.
Oh yeah, dude.
Let's go to town. What's up? Like, you want to get down, motherfucker? Like, we disagree.
Yeah.
I'm a man. You're a man. Let's throw down and then leave it as is, right?
There's two things in life that I learned, because my dad was a Golden Glove, so he was a boxer, and my dad taught me how to box. Two things in life: you're either gonna get your ass whipped, or you're gonna whip somebody's ass. Either the way, hey, you take some, you lose some. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes.
That's the thing, though, right? It's like, so if I disagree with you, and I'm a consenting adult, and you're a consenting adult, and we have an argument, and I really fucking dislike you, why can't we fucking throw blows, right? But then it's the fact that, oh, well, manslaughter, someone could die. Yeah, I get it. But we're both grown-ass fucking men making this choice. And so back in the day, let's say, cowboy days, it's like, let's have a duel. You disrespected me.
That's how it was.
You disrespected my woman, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks that it would suck if it's like this guy wants to fight, this guy doesn't. Okay, like, no. But this guy spat in my face. You're gonna get slapped, bro. You're gonna get slapped. At the very least, a slap. But if you spit in my face, like we're just gonna get down. And so, like, going back to the '90s, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
it was.
Let's go.
It was the Wild West in the '90s. I remember that. Yeah,
I don't know
it-
about now. I don't know how it works now.
everyone wants to pull a gun out or
Oh,
whatever,
okay,
and then
yeah.
everyone wants to kill somebody. Yeah, all right, that's your thing, man. That's why it's so hard nowadays to like not like you want to turn your cheek because now everybody is about like, oh, I got a gun.
You're strapped.
Yeah, that's anybody could pull a trigger.
Right, right.
My 13-year-old daughter could pull a trigger. But can you live with it with killing somebody? Can you actually go up to somebody and put that gun in front of their face and just pull the trigger and watch their eyes look at you while you hear their last breath leave? Now that right there, that takes heart because not everybody can do it. I would pull a trigger from 20 feet away and be a tough guy. No problem.
Hold on, bro. I gotta take a leak.
Yeah.
It's like we go to Vegas, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can't drink shit. I can't drink nothing, man, because I gotta take a leak.
Every 2 minutes.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, I cannot fucking do it, dude. It's just I'm drinking liquids all day, bro. I'm drinking
Yeah.
liquids all day. Water, like just all day long. Water and caffeine. And then like I fast, so I eat till till we're done. That'll be my first meal, you know. So anyways, I want to go back to like what you were talking about. Like we just grew up different, I think.
We did, bro.
You know, we grew up different and I'm grateful for it.
So am I. I mean, I'm super grateful that I got to drink out of a water hose while I was a kid. I got to
that fucking taste, right?
I got to be out. I mean, I got to be outside anytime I wanted to be, but there was a point in my life to where I, you know, come in when the street lights came on. You know, my grandma would always yell at me, "Why are you, cabron?" You know,
Where's your grandma from?
LA.
Like, what's her her background?
So my grandma and my dad are Native American from Coahuila, out of Agua. So I'm Native American, and my mom, from what I know, is Polish and Irish.
Oh wow!
So there's no Mexican in me. Everyone thinks it. Everyone talks to me, and it sucks, dude, because like I grew up in LA, and I should know Spanish, right? Like I should at least know some Spanglish.
On, bro.
But my dad knows it, my grandma knows it, right? But because they weren't traditional Mexicans and they didn't come from Mexico, it wasn't like embedded in the household. So I lived with my grandma and my dad for a long time.
So like your grandmother, she's from Coahuila?
Yeah.
Coahuila.
Yeah, it's out of Agua, out of Caliente and Palm Springs.
Okay.
So
And then her family is like
100% Native.
100%
It says it
Native.
on their birth certificates.
Okay.
Before even other existed on your birth certificate,
Uh-huh.
it was either white, black, or Native American.
Okay.
On my dad's birth certificate, my grandma's birth certificate, and my
But
aunt's.
because they went to LA or because they were maybe in Southern California, that's how they learned Spanish?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
Yeah. Well, so the story goes with my history of family. My great grandma is from Paula San Diego tribe,
Okay.
and my great grandpa is from Agua Caliente, Coahuila, which is Copeños, because we're two different tribes. So before California was California and it was still Mexico, you would say, they had made boarding schools for the Native Americans in California, on California land. So, and they took all the Native Americans in California, took them to Paula, which is in San Diego, and that's where the boarding school was. They called it boarding schools, but they're concentration camps for the
Okay.
Native Americans.
Yeah.
So that's where my great grandma and my great grandpa had met. Had my great grandma, who then had my grandma, and then because two tribes had mingled together, they migrated out because it was frowned upon. So they ended up moving to Los Angeles, and
And then they learned Spanish.
that's where they learned their Spanish, was from Los Angeles. But they talked the native tongue and everything. My grandma knew the native tongue. I think my dad knew a little bit. But
Do you know how to speak the native tongue?
No, because it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I did. I wasn't raised like that. I'm considered third generation or second generation, but because I grew up in Los Angeles, it was all English.
Yeah.
Not even Spanish. And growing up in the streets, you would you would pick it up here and there, And I know a little bit, but you give me a conversation, we're screwed.
We're
Me,
fucked.
you leave me in Mexico by myself, I'm done. And I go to Mexico a lot. You would think like, fuck, dude, you should be knowing Spanish by now.
Yeah.
And no, bro, no, I'll pull out translator real quick. I'm the most coconut-ist person you and me. I'm so brown on the outside, but super white in the inside, bro.
No, man. I think it's I saw, I don't know, it's funny because I saw a story, like a post, and it said Mexicans are Native Americans, right? Like, and
Yes and no.
yeah,
Yes and
that's why
no.
I said, I was like, yes and no. I was like, if you know your history, like, how that would have come about. But like, my interpretation of the positive message behind it is that I appreciate Mexican culture. I appreciate Native
absolutely,
American
bro.
culture. I appreciate,
We
um,
sorry,
yeah,
but as natives, like as indigenous and as Mexican Americans, we, no matter what, when we follow that line back trail, we all come back. We all come from Aztecs. So it doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter a difference.
yeah,
It's just you're considered Mexican because of Spain.
right.
So other than that, you would have been, if Spain would have conquered, you would have been indigenous, and that's why you see a lot of Mexicans with slanted eyes because a lot of Native Americans have slanted eyes. They and dark skin because of the sun.
Yeah. It's I think the Olmecs in Peru, they have this like statue that they
Oh,
found, like really slanted eyes, like really, bro, like they're thinking like, man, this is like Polynesian almost, like he's Asian almost, like,
Yeah,
but then the other facial structure features are
they're rounded.
rounded.
Yeah, they're not like Asian rounded.
Mhm.
It's more like a bow rounded, I would say.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy. Like, and I love history. That was like that was my thing while I was like in school.
Well, you're being a bad fucking kid.
Yeah, history. I kid you not, dude. I kid you not. When I got to my history class, I was probably the best student in that class.
What do you like about history?
That's where we come from. I mean, even though we didn't learn the right history when you're young in high school, they teach you what the government wants you to know. But history is just so amazing. Like, wow, man, like people really lived like that. Wow, like that. Wow, the 30s were like that. The 50s were like that. Wow, ancient times was like that. Like you really sit and put thought into that. It's like, wow, like that's
It's fucking
crazy.
gnarly, bro.
It's crazy.
I was very fortunate, very fucking fortunate that I had a fucking nerd for a father.
That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. I mean,
no, not at all. I fucking love it.
I love my dad to death. Me and my dad, we're close.
What's your dad's name?
His real name, or his like what everyone knows him in life?
I don't know.
It's his real name's Richard.
Okay.
But no one calls him Richard.
What do they call him?
I didn't even know his real name until I got older. I kid you not, because my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, family members, cousins, you name it, they never called my dad his real name. His name is Little Man.
Little Man.
That's it. That was his neighborhood name, and that's everybody knew. Oh, even to this day.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Little Man's son, huh? Yeah, I'm Little Man's son. Yeah, I know who you are. I heard about you. Oh, cool, man. Nice to meet you. But yeah, and my dad's the shortest. If you scroll down my Instagram, there's a picture of me and my dad.
We'll find it.
And the shortest but mightiest dude I've ever met. Like my dad will always be my hero. I think that's for every kid that grew up with their dad. My dad taught me everything I knew. Everything, whether it was bad or good.
And your dad was a boxer.
He was a boxer, and
so did he ever tell you like how he got into boxing or how that came about?
the streets.
Okay.
In the streets. My
You gotta
dad's
protect yourself.
yeah. My dad's a fighter. He's well known in his neighborhood. Everybody knew him. Everybody knew he was a fighter. Like he just loved to fight. My dad loved to fight. He was just the smallest dude. And I don't know if it was. I mean, people will say little man syndrome.
Yeah.
But it's not. My dad and I think that's where I got it from growing up. I love to fight. I used to love it. I would I needed it. There was just something about it, knowing that even if I got my ass whipped, I just loved it. I love doing it. Now, no, like I I don't condone violence, people.
There's like this is the thing that people don't understand. They're like with I think with boys, right? I grew up with two brothers, obviously, and you're play fighting the whole fucking time.
I didn't have that, dude.
You
I'm
didn't?
the
Okay.
oldest.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of two girls and a younger brother.
Okay.
I remember my first fight, bro.
How old are you?
11.
What is that? Like you're in sixth grade, huh?
Yeah, I think it was like sixth grade.
Fifth or sixth grade, maybe
Yeah, it's
somewhere
like
in there.
fifth or sixth grade, right? And it was in front of my house. My dad made me fight because the little boy pushed my sister and made her cry. So my dad went out and he's like, "You gonna go fight him?" All right. The little boy kicked my ass, bro. Fucked me up. Made me cry. Went back inside. My dad whipped my ass. He said, "You gonna go back out there and fight again? And you come back in here crying, I'm gonna whip your ass again." All right. Went out there, got my ass whipped. Went back in, got my ass whipped again. Went back until I fucking really fucking. I don't want to get hit no more.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned how to fight.
It's I think mine one of the fights that I remember I was around that age, 11 or 12, and I was scared that my dad was gonna get pissed, because I was getting kicked out.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Nah, man." He's like, "I don't ever want you to start a fight.
Right.
I never want you to start a fight. We're not about that. But I want you to end it."
Yep. I'm a strong believer in that one.
Like, you're not grounded. You're getting kicked out. Cool. He's like, "We're good. We're fine." And this is little motherfucker, dude. The little motherfucker. He grabbed my head and another kid's head, and he cracked us together.
Dude.
Bro, like it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
And he was a bully.
Yeah.
He was a fucking bully. And after that, I've been in a ton of fights. That's why I asked you, like, do you appreciate the way you grew up, like the streets?
Yeah.
I certainly do, because I know I can defend myself.
Yeah.
I can defend myself, and I could see things others don't see.
Right.
And some people just, again, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but some people are just fucking dumb. Like,
Go ahead, finish it.
I'll say. So I'm just saying it in a way that's. I'm kidding, but you're not aware.
Right.
You're not paying attention. This guy is getting a little too close, or this person, and this, like, you could see body language when you've been in a fight. You could see certain things that, mind you might get blindsided, or something might pop off that you can never. I was just at a bar down the street, dude, a week ago. I'm by the bar. There's a bunch of people on this side, one person on this side, and the bouncer flies in with the dude carrying him to the ground right in front. So the person that was right there, like in the corner, I immediately moved them. Like, you got to get out of the way, because this is going to it's a biker bar, bro.
Oh, okay.
So, weapons could come out immediately. Yeah. And obviously, as soon as I pull up, I start seeing colors, right? Yeah. So recognizing colors, recognizing certain things, it's because of the shit that we were in maybe when we were younger, right? What was funny is I go to the back and someone goes, "Hey, and this is behind you. This is the third fucking time." So two people earlier asked me for my name, and they recognized me. What's up? But then when I went to the back, this big motherfucker asked me my name. Big guy. And the guy he was with was also flying colors. He was a big guy.
Yeah.
And they asked, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And I'm alone in the back.
Yeah.
It turns out it's one of my fucking clients.
No way, dude.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, George Merlos?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
And the way they say it too.
Yes.
Like, and if it's a big dude, you're like, "Fuck, all right. I'm gonna get my ass whipped, but I'm not gonna stand down."
Right. And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm George Merlos." He goes, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm so and so." I'm like,
the tone of voice too.
"Oh, what the fuck?" Yeah, and super friendly,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's recognizing little things that the streets or that life may have provided, where if you're a Poindexter, you don't see it.
No.
You know, you don't see it, and I'm thankful for that I went through that. I'm sure that you are too.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, dude. To go back to what you're saying, it's and I taught my boys this. You know, my boys are older now.
How old are your
They're
kids?
in college.
Oh, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
25, 20, and then my youngest is 13.
Okay.
I always tell my boys, there's two types of education, and those two types you'll have for the rest of your life. It's street education to be street smart, and book education to be book smart. Street smart's going to get you aware of things that people are going to try to con you. People are going to try to sucker you. You're going to catch that right away. You're going to see for who they really are. Then you have book education. You go into a meeting, you talk a certain way, you act a certain way. That's going to get you far in life just as much as street education is going to get you far in life. People don't have that. This generation does not have that. This generation doesn't get taught that. And this generation is just about, and I mean, obviously, you know, social media, looking at the phone all day, no common sense, zero common sense. And common sense takes you a long way in life, a long way. And it's common sense, you know? And like you said, it's knowing the way we grew up from the streets. And for me personally, like, I know when somebody wants to start something. I can read it across the room.
Yes.
Like, and if it's with somebody else, I know when, okay, let's go this way. Or, you know, I think it's time to leave. Well, why? Nah, it's just time to leave. Sure enough, and it's helped me many a times, like, hey, we got to go. Like, I don't want to be here. Something's going to happen. Oh, no, we're good. Nah, we're going to go. Sure enough, something happens.
Yep.
You know, and I don't condone violence. I honestly, I don't even like to fight. To be
Not
honest,
anymore?
not no more, dude. I
It
don't.
hurts too much?
Well, as you get older, everything hurts. But I have so much to lose now. You know, I'm super happy where I'm at in life. What I built for myself, for my family, with along with my wife, bro. Like, you, if you got to be really dumb to go out there and be like, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna get drunk, I'm gonna drink and drive, and fuck it. You want to start shit? Let's start shit, and lose everything that you worked hard for. And that's just dumb.
It's so I've been sober for, I don't know, 12 years, right?
Oh,
Or
dude,
something like that.
congratulations, bro.
Thanks, man.
I'm a social drinker.
Mhm.
Because you know, I'm in the nightlife all the time, and it's not an excuse to drink. I did stop for maybe almost a year, and it was fucking awesome. It was super cool, but I'm a social drinker, bro.
Yeah.
I won't get stupid drunk.
Well,
I'm a
see,
social
that's the
drinker.
thing, though. That's the thing. I wish I could do that. I wish I could fucking just have like one drink and hang out. And many a times I did,
Yeah.
obviously. But, you know, I just liked it too much.
Yeah,
I liked it too much. And then the violence comes out, like the violent
Yeah.
side of me, right? I'm not a crier. I'm not going to sit there and cry. It's just like,
there's only three types of people.
there's a happy one, there's a sad one, and there's a violent one.
Yeah, I'm always happy. I'm like, unless I blank out, and it's super rare. There's only 1 year. I'm sorry. Once a year I'll do that, and that's my birthday.
Yeah.
And that's
Let
it.
loose.
Other than that, I'll get a cool buzz, and I know when to stop. I'll drink unless I know I'm in a very safe environment, and I'll go a little further. Like, you know, okay, cool. Or if like I'm out of the country or like somewhere in a different state, and I'm with somebody I know, like my wife. Okay, I'm comfortable. Like, I'm okay. I know I have somebody with me. Well, I'll let loose. But other than that, dude, social drinking. I love social drinking. It's cool.
It's a nice lubrication.
It is. It is. Don't get me wrong. There's sometimes where I'm like, fuck, I need to stop drinking. Like, I'm not
I'm in pain.
in my. Well, you got to remember too. So going to prison, I didn't get out until I was 26. So I was there from 18 to 26 years old. So I missed a lot. I truly missed, like, I missed everything. Like, you know, I missed all of up to my mid-20s. And so I was just fucking raging, dude. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Oh, bro. I didn't get in trouble, thank God. I did a lot of stupid shit when I got out still. Thank God I didn't get caught or get in trouble. I was still fighting, bro, and I was fighting the bigger guys. Like, I think actually it was one year for Dom's birthday. It was in Pomona at the Fox Theater. It was Dom or Tommy's birthday. But I know it was one of them. And I was in Hollywood. It was Dom's birthday. I was in Hollywood, dude.
It's Dom's fault.
Yeah, I was in Hollywood, bro, and I was like, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna come down?" I was like, "I'll go down. I'll go down." I was chilling with the other friends. I was like, "Hey, I gotta go. I got a friend's birthday I'm gonna go to." All right, cool. I end up driving from Hollywood to Pomona, and we're just having a blast, dude. Fucking a blast. And I remember this, you know Tommy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I remember holding Tommy's stunk drunk, bro. This is the best story in the fucking world, right? And Tommy's always been a buff dude.
Yeah.
And he's taller. Obviously, everyone's taller than me. And I'm holding him. I'm holding him like this, and we're talking, we're laughing, we're bullshitting, we're on the top of the rooftop. I was like, let's go. We're heading to the elevator so we could go down. And out of nowhere, this dude's like, man, he says something, and I look at Tommy. I was like, he's talking to you, bro. He's like, and he's like, no, he's talking to you. I was like, I don't know him. He's talking to you. That's your friend. And he looks. He's you talking to me? And the dude's like, no, I'm talking to that fucking idiot right there. And I was like, I don't even know. Right. I don't know this guy, right? I don't know
just
him.
Just some random fucker.
Right? And Tommy does know him. And bro, just alcohol, obviously, and just. I dropped him. I dropped Tommy on his face.
Yeah.
I just fucking let him go, and he just says, bam, hits ground, face first, bro. He split, like, he didn't break his nose, but he just busted. And, dude, I went up to him, I was like, who are you talking to? We started, bro. And I'm that person, I don't sit there and talk. I won't sit there
fuck?
Oh, fuck you, no, fuck you.
Nah.
Bro, I'm gonna hit you, and I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna hurt you. I want to hurt you. And then I'll ask questions afterwards. You know, rather it's behind a squad car or, you know, down the street talking to myself. Why that happened? Bro. I didn't even hit him. I hit his friend because he was bigger. And I laid his friend out, dude. I did like a little thumper rubber fucking rabbit jump and hit him and falls. Bam. And then I hit his friend. I'm fighting with like 3 guys by myself. And then like all these people start coming and we're fighting, bro. Jump over the bar, grab a bottle, and I crack him. I just crack him. But it was a mess, right?
Yeah.
Go downstairs. Luckily, honestly, it's so crazy because the security guard that night grew up in the same neighborhood I grew up, and he knew who I was. He knew who my dad was, and he's like, "Hey, you gotta go. The cops are coming." I was like, "Cool." Went, and I lost a nice fedora hat that night too, bro. Yeah, bro. And so, but it's just being aware of your surroundings, dude.
So that like those nights, dude. I've had many of those nights.
Yeah.
I think we can like fucking stay here till midnight talking
probably,
about that
bro,
shit.
Probably.
And the thing is,
I gotta write a book.
Yeah, for real. But the thing is, like what you said, what's worth keeping versus worth losing, right? And so, for me, on the alcohol side, I think about everything that I've gained back, right, since I got sober. So dude, I was when I told Dom what I went through. He broke down.
Oh,
and he's like, I didn't know you were going through that. He's like, I didn't know, like, almost like a sense of guilt that he wasn't there for me. And I'm like, nah, bro. I was like, you're good, man. Like, I don't hold any anger or resentment or anything. I was going through my shit. You just didn't know. He's like, no. He's like, that's exactly it. That's why I feel bad that I wasn't there for you. And it's something that I needed to do for me. Yeah. Right? I needed to do for me. And then, so when I put it on a scale and I think about alcohol, I think everything that I've been able to get back, and then everything that alcohol provides to me, and then the consequences of it, I'm like, there's too much to lose. I've gained so much back. I can't. Yeah. So it's like the same thing with fighting, right? Or the same thing with a lot of things in life that maybe we did years ago where it's like, I don't want to lose all the fucking shit that I got back or I built, my family, my freedom.
For me, it's so I went being indigenous. I went through a spiritual thing, right? There's your pride, and then they're saying I got you know, I could push my pride aside, right? And then there's an ego death. Um, Obviously, I always had pride. Every man has pride, right? Some men could just be like, shine things away. That's good. That's, you know,
That's the way they're built.
that's kind of, you have your pride's there, but you haven't let go of it, right? So when I had went to prison, you know, I did my thing. I did shit while I was in there too. Um, I came. Go ahead.
No, no.
I had told myself. I didn't promise myself because you never promise anything while you're in prison because you're most likely gonna come back. I told myself, you know, I'm gonna try new things when I get out. I'm gonna go dancing. I'm gonna go try new foods that I said I didn't like, but I never tried them, but I didn't like them. Um, I'm gonna go dance with my girl. I've never danced with her. Never really. You think about all these things, right? Did it when I got out, right? Never thought that it would really help me. When I started getting more into music, I said, you know what? I am who I am. In heart, I am from the streets, and I'm proud of that. Um, but as you get older, you want better things in your life, especially when you have kids. So I said, you know what? I like this music, and I'm gonna stick with this music. I like house music. I'm gonna stick with this house music. And I started doing that. I started doing the DJ thing, right? So got successful at it, made a great thing out of it, and obviously I got to pay my bills. So I was in construction, got into construction, um, was okay at it, and then got better at it. And now I own a painting business. I own my own construction business. Um, I'm a well-known, you know, at least people tell me, or at least I think I am a well-known good DJ. I throw events now.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. I throw monthly events now. You you tend to just say, you know what? Wow, if you just like step back. So my point is, when I did my spiritual awakening, I had an ego death. I really killed my pridefulness. Like it just went away. After my spiritual thing,
Is that
um,
uh like something you do consciously, like with someone, or is it,
no, no,
or how is
no,
it?
no. It was with magic mushrooms.
Okay.
So and I'm a big believer on mushrooms.
Okay.
Because it does help a lot. They just like how weed does. Mushrooms help with like anxiety. If you have very bad anxiety, um, depression, you know, it just helps in certain things. So we could get to that in a little bit because I have a
Yeah.
lot for that. But so I had to. It's gonna sound weird, but it wasn't like in a teepee. I didn't go in a sweat lodge. I was at a Pink Floyd concert.
That's fuck,
I was at a
bro.
Pink Floyd concert, right? And so I do my thing, and I take as much as I know I could take, and nobody's like, "Hey, take these ones." Okay. Are you sure? You can handle it. Okay, I can handle it. Fuck it. Pop those. So more than I should have took. And I'm at a Pink Floyd concert, bro, and life just fucking came at me. And if those that know and have done, you know, shrooms, it takes you on a journey, and it's gonna bring up things that you don't want to see. It's gonna that's when you become aware of your life. To me personally, right? That's when your eye really opens up. That's when you see everything. You see your life, you see your death, you see the middle of it, you see where you're gonna go, where you've been.
Oh, bro, that gives me so much anxiety.
For me,
Yeah.
right? Um, After my magical journey, bro, and I don't condone it if you don't do it. You know, everyone has their own thing. Um, I really, really saw myself. Like I really opened up to myself and to like my wife. And the following day, I felt different. I felt alive. Like I felt alive. Like everything was just new, brand new. Everything was brand new. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna change for the better. I'm really gonna change for the better. And ever since then, bro, I feel different. My energy's different. More positive in life. Um, negativity is always going to be around, but I don't let it get to me as I used to. Um, I don't like to stare people down like how I used to, just because I want to be this, like, I want to be recognized as this tough dude. I don't care, bro. I don't really care what people think. I'm a happy person. I'm a successful person. Um, that's why I say now I know how to, like, just cool, whatever, bro. Like, you want to talk? People online, you want to talk? That's cool. I hope the best for you. That's all I could tell them.
Right.
I hope the best for you. I want nothing but the best for you, and I want nothing but great things to happen in your life. You could be all that negative. You could be that much negative. I hope positivity goes into their lives.
It's like with magic mushrooms and stuff like that. I've always been afraid because my understanding of it is you lose control, right?
No.
And then that's the part, right? So when I talk to people, they tell me different things.
You lose control because you want to lose control. It's because you're not strong-minded.
Okay.
Any substance, and even with alcohol. Alcohol is a depression. It's a depressant drug, right? If you're weak-minded, then yes, it'll take control. It would take you all the way down.
Fly.
It'll take you to places you don't want to go to.
That's what I'm saying. I'm afraid of it.
But at the same time, that journey could be a good thing at the end of the road. Like for me,
yes,
I went through some places where I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, am I dying?" But at the end of that journey, it was a beautiful thing. I saw something that I can't explain it, because it's something personal for what I was supposed to see.
Right.
But you don't have to do that much to figure it out. Like I know people that microdose, and microdosing is like a vitamin. Like, let's just say like your daily vitamin. Microdosing just helps you focus, gets you through the day. You're aware. It gives you the energy. You don't have to drink an energy drink. You don't have to drink coffee. Like, it awakens you. Like, your focus on a day. And a microdose is a quarter, a little piece.
Yeah.
But then there's the other part where you want to take that journey, but be prepared.
Right. And that's the thing. What I was going to say in regards to like mushrooms and hallucinogens, my understanding is that natives, whether it's the Native Americans or the Incas or the Mayans or even, maybe the Vikings, right? They're doing different roots, different plants, different hallucinogenics.
It's Mother Nature. It comes from our earth. It's here for a reason.
Yeah.
And we won't go down that rabbit hole of conspiracy.
Yeah.
But it's here for a reason.
No. I mean, I'm open to like just hearing stuff, because then it's like, is that how people started to see beings and God and like certain things that it's like it opens up, I would say, opens up your mind to certain things, right?
Absolutely, bro.
And so it's interesting to me, right? I've had people on here where they've done ayahuasca, they've done different things, and they tell me
ayahuasca is a whole. I'm super down to do it, but you have to do it. There's a ritual for that.
Right.
You have to do it the right way.
Right. And so other people that I've talked to, where they tell me about ayahuasca, they're like, dude, I let go of so many things. I saw so many things, and I've known these people. All right. It's not like fucking strangers.
Right.
Obviously strangers have told me, but it's like, damn, you are a different person. Or they're acting like a different person. They feel this is gonna sound weird. They feel sweeter.
Absolutely, bro.
They feel like
100%. I agree with it, because
nicer.
It's so weird. So it's funny that you say that, because my younger sister had came down. She lives in North Carolina, and I haven't seen her. I haven't seen my younger sister in like almost 12, 13 years, right? She comes down because my dad is somewhat sick, and she comes down. We're visiting. We're talking, and I've always been an asshole. Always just been an asshole. That was just my thing, right? And my sister just looks at me, she's like, there's something different about you. And like, why are you so like nice? Like, I've never seen you like be so nice to like me or people. Like you're so talkative, like you smile a lot. Like what's going on? I was like, oh, it's just me. Maybe I'm getting older. Like, I don't know. Like she's like, no, there's something different. What'd you do? And I sat down and I told her, and she was just like, wow. She's like, and I told her at the end of my journey, like like the message to me was to change the way I am because it's gonna go either bad again or you're just gonna lose everything. And so I was just like, and I don't know if it's because of my blood of being indigenous, and that's our thing. Mm. Like for me, this might sound weird, but and people are like, "Nah, this fool's fucking crazy." But
I'll be crazy with you, bro.
for me, like when I do mushrooms or LSD, um, it's hard for me to look at people because I see different faces. Like I could tell if you're good, like if you're a genuine person, or I could tell there's something evil with you. Like I just see it. And it's fucking. Sometimes it's scary, and sometimes it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I never tell nobody that. Recently, I started telling people that, and they were just like, "Wait, what?" And they was like, that's like a thing. And I was like, "What do you mean it's a thing?" And they're like, "Yeah, like what are you?" I'm like, "I'm native." And they're like, "Oh, you have something special."
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like
I understand what you're
you
saying.
have something very special that you could see people. Like I see, because there's people that see auras in different colors, but I see like
Faces.
the faces of good and evil.
Almost like their true self.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if something's just attached to them that's not good for them.
Oh.
So that's what I could see it, and it's so weird. Like it doesn't scare me. It used to. I'm like, dude, that's kind of freaky. But now I guess just being who I am in my blood, like that's what I'm gifted.
I'll share with you. I did Olympia.
What is?
Olympia is like a spiritual cleansing,
Okay.
right? And part of what the spiritual I have this is so messed up, but I was a spiritual person, shaman,
Yeah.
type thing. I'm fucking it up, but let's just say it's that.
Okay.
They said, well, I did a lot of healings on you, a lot of different healings on you, took a lot of things away, but you decided to keep a lot of them. I was like, I decided to keep a lot of what? And they're like, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you decided to
crazy.
keep them. You weren't letting them go. And so I want you to know, they're still there. Whenever you want to get rid of them, you need to be completely open. And it's funny, dude, because as she was doing certain things, I had my eyes closed, right?
Yeah.
So I could see things, whether it's in my mind or in the spiritual realm or world or whatever. Yeah. I could see things. One of the things was she was doing this healing on my heart. And immediately the vision of like a dark, it was like a dark, desolate place, an amber light sitting in the back. And a warrior came down from the emptiness of space in front of that light, blocking it with the sword, right? Just blocking that light, and the light was behind him. And the warrior was like, I don't know, samurai knight type shit. I could barely see it,
right?
Because it was dark. And then 5 seconds later, she's like, George, don't close up. Don't close up.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she goes, what do you see? What do you see? I'm like, I'm not fucking telling you. I told her that. I'm like, I'm not telling you.
She's like, yeah, I want to get in there.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not telling you. I was like, you keep doing your thing, right? Like, if this is real, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
But, and it happened like 4 or 5 times, bro.
Wow.
Like, where in my mind, I would see something, and like 10 seconds later, 5 seconds later, she was saying it or doing it. And so I shared with her, and I'm actually gonna do a podcast with her in a couple
Oh,
weeks.
cool.
I'm like, I booked it from this house I used to live in a couple years ago. Fear for my fucking life, bro. Like, panicked out of my fucking mind. No drugs, no alcohol, completely sober. And there was these shadows walking in the street, in my truck, walking around me, all this crazy shit going on. So when you tell me these things, right, like
Yeah.
what you just shared with me, I tell people, I'm like, I'm always open because I've seen stuff, I've heard stuff, I know stuff.
I think everybody has, but they just don't want to speak on it because they don't want to sound crazy, or people are just like, dude, you're doing it's because you're doing drugs, or
I'm like, I was
like,
sober.
yeah, and that's the thing. Our bloodline goes back decades to rather what nationality you are. There's something to our ancestors that connect all of us, right? There's these like how do I gonna say it? If we could paint a picture of it, there's like this ball, right, of energy, and there's just these little webs that just shoot out to everybody, right? That ball is everyone's ancestors. So everybody has a connection to something spiritually, whatever you may believe in. Um, it's real. It's super real. I believe it's super real. It just depends how you want to act on it, you know. And for me, um, I just got blessed with something, and I run with it. I like it. Um, Sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I know how to like control it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, "Ah, I gotta get out of here like now." Um, and I think when I used to live with my mom's mom, her husband at the time, he was native, and but he was into like dark magic. So I used to see a lot. And my grandma, I remember, and as I got older, before my grandma had passed away years ago, this was years ago, she had told me, because she would keep me in her room all the time, dude. She wouldn't let me go out. She wouldn't let me do and I wasn't a teenager. I was still a young boy. Um, they had told me, finally, like my family had told me, she kept you in there because there was always something bad in that house because of her husband would do dark magic. And when I had when my grandma had passed away, we moved into her house. And I remember being in my room, and then I would sleep with the door open, and there was always this big ass Indian shadow that would stand in front of my fucking door, dude. All the time. Like just big. Like big. You can tell it was just like powerful, but it was bad. Um, when I would go in my grandma's room. My grandma's room had no windows, zero windows in her room. It was just a room, and there was always a shiny blue cross. It was just above her bed. There was a cross that would just. It was no one knew where it came from. You shut off the light, and there was a cross there. It was crazy. It was weird, right? Super weird. And like, I think I was like 12 now, 12, 13. And to this day, I don't know. I know we moved out of the house. Um, and then I bounced around here and there. But yeah, spiritual things, it's a real thing. I believe it is. It just
It's
depends how you
it's
want to take it, I guess.
yeah, dude. That's the thing, man. I'm always trying to find fucking like a logical way to explain it.
You can't.
I'm like, wait.
You can't.
Maybe that light's reflecting off of this, that, and after you go down your rabbit hole of like trying to figure it out, and you're like, well, just like that example I gave of me fucking burning away as a grown ass man. This wasn't like 20 years ago. This is like, a
You
couple
can't
years ago.
explain it. And then when you tell somebody, you're like, fuck, do I sound crazy?
I sound fucking crazy, bro. There was people in my truck, literally in my truck, and I'm like, I know there's no one in my truck, but they're right here in my truck, and I could see them in front of me. And again, I called my pops, dude. I call my pops and I'm
That's
like,
scary,
yo,
man.
I was so, bro.
Yeah.
Just talking about it gives me the fucking chills,
Yeah,
man.
like now I believe in the Lord. I believe in God. If we're gonna talk spiritually, and I believe that He protects us. Like I believe He protects everybody. There's good and there's evil. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Whatever religion you are, there's good and evil in that religion. No doubt about it, right? Now I just feel I feel super protective. I feel very blessed, very protective. I feel that after my ego death, like there was just everything changed for me, dude. Super changed for me. Like I smile. Someone had asked me because I've always smiled since 20. I never used to smile. Never smiled. 20 2009. 2009. I met this kid. I was still out of prison, and I was working at Anchor Blue. Remember Anchor Blue in the mall? I got a
Yes.
job at Anchor Blue in the Inland
Anchor
Center Mall,
Blue. That's crazy.
right? And I met this kid, dude. Just young kid, and we're talking. We're talking about raves, and we're talking about music. And he's like, "Oh, dude, that's dope. You're a DJ, and you know, let's go out. Let's go party, right?" This kid became like a little brother to me, bro. Like I love this kid to death. His name was Jonathan. He unfortunately lost his life at a New Year's Eve party one year. Um, but this kid had the biggest fucking smile, dude. Just Colgate smile, like a commercial Colgate smile, and it would irritate the fuck out of me. Bro, like, why do you smile so much? Why? Like, there's no reason to smile that big. Like, you got to be faking it. He's like, no, I just like smiling. It makes people happy. And I was, dude, why do you smile? Like, be honest with me. Why do you smile so much? He's all, because I might have changed somebody's life by smiling. I don't know what they're going through, but my smile might have changed their life. And that stuck to me. Like, I never really thought about that. And that stuck with me, right? Um, oh, you know what? Yeah, yeah. And when he passed away, dude, I promised myself, I'm gonna always smile. I'm gonna always smile. I'm gonna smile just like him. So every picture you see now, I smile. I smile, and it's true, dude. You could change somebody's day just by smiling, just by smiling. So that's like a thing for me to him. Like I promise, like I tell him, like, I'm gonna smile. Just I'm gonna keep that on going on for you.
It's I feel like we all live in different worlds,
Yeah.
right? And I know that sounds weird, just like we're talking about spirituality and ghosts or spirits, whatever. I think a lot of times it's a matter of perspective. I love your perspective, dude, by the way. Like it's fucking awesome.
Thanks.
You know, like it's awesome to see my friends grow up, right? Or
Oh,
acquaintances
absolutely.
grow
Yeah,
up
absolutely, bro.
and mature and become business owners, become successful. And I cheer people on, dude. I love to see people fucking
You have to, bro.
like become successful. And it doesn't mean money, right?
Right. No.
Money's a cool part about it.
Well,
But
yeah. Being successful. So if people have different meanings of being successful, obviously money comes right away. That's like I'm successful because I make a crap load of money, right? Okay, yeah. But are you happy? Because you could be the richest person. And I've met rich people before. I've been around millionaires, and you could tell they are not happy. Why? Because they just don't have that happiness of success. They're successful, they just don't have the happiness part.
nah.
You be successful by getting up every day and going to your job and just being happy. That's successful. Paying your bills, paying your car, paying your car off. Rather you own a home or you're renting, you're keeping the cold air out of your home or out of your face. You're keeping the rain off of you or your children. That's being successful. Like people don't they just it's the hype of everything. The hype of like, oh man, I gotta have that. Oh man. I saw this thing years ago. I don't know where I saw it, but it was this. I think it was online. I know it was online, but this dude woke up every day and didn't have a car, so he'd ride his bike or walk, and he would look at a car that drove by. Oh man, I wish I had that. Then, oh man, I wish I had that. He always wished, right? But never went to go get it. He just wanted to wish. He never put the effort of like, if I just go and apply for something or put my mind to something and go and try apply to do this, then I could have that car. People don't do that. They just they want to hand me out. Like when they see somebody, even family members. Oh, you're doing good. Oh, that's awesome. They don't say I'm super happy for you. Just even friends, even acquaintances. Oh, hey, dude, like, can you introduce me to this person? Can you introduce me to this person? Yeah, I can. But you have to put the work into it. You have to want to what you want. I can introduce you to everybody in the world, but how badly do you want what you want in life? You have to apply yourself to doing that. People don't do that.
It's what we were talking this weekend briefly. It's the law of the iceberg, and we have it here in the office. So people see, obviously an iceberg.
Right.
It's what's above water, right? But and I'm probably wrong on this, but I think only, let's call it, 10% is above water. 90% of the iceberg is below it.
Yeah.
So they didn't see the nights that you would DJ quinceañeras,
yeah,
DJ at the
bro.
nightclub, get canceled on, somebody moved your set, like you're running around from this place to that place, like the grind. No one
Yeah,
fucking
no,
saw
sees
the
that, bro.
grind. All of a sudden, people are like, oh, you got here, and they think that it happened overnight. It's like, do you know what I went through to
Yeah,
get
bro.
here?
I had so many doors. I had so many no's before I even had a one yes. Probably could count. I can't even count the no's I got. The doors got slammed in my face, or bro, you suck as a DJ. Like, we don't want you. Like, before I got the one yes. And the one yes, I took a risk. I took a leap of faith. This was even I already had AVNs, but like as an international DJ, I took a risk. I didn't get paid for that gig.
So like
I-
when you DJ internationally, like are you submitting to places to DJ, or how does that work out?
Now I don't. Now I have a name, so I get booked. I usually get booked by the same people. Um,
Like they have your contact info. Hey,
yeah,
what does your calendar look like? Something like
yeah.
that.
And when I first did it, I was emailing this one company. And I was like, hey, if you have any openings, let me know. And dude, no, we don't. We'll let you know. And I kept on pushing it.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
I kept on pushing it. So I would push it and I would push it. And randomly, finally, at that time, their representative of the company, their entertainment coordinator, they finally called and they're like, hey, we have a spot. It's not a paid spot for you. It's a tryout spot. It's in it was in Puerto Vallarta. I was like, all right, cool. Like, we'll get you the room and we'll get you a flight. And you can only bring one guest, but you're not getting paid. And and I was out there for like a week and I DJ'd like every day, dude. And I didn't get paid for it. And I got out there and I was like, fuck, dude, like I'm really out here, like this is gonna happen. And I was scared. I was nervous. And already been DJing for a long time, but I was nervous. I was super nervous. And and as a DJ, you read your crowd and you know your crowd. And I was like, man, they're not feeling this. They're not feeling this. And this was like night one. And I was like, oh man, all right, I gotta figure something out. And I'm stressing out, bro. I'm putting way too much thought into what I should be doing, what I already know
Rather
what to
than
do.
enjoying the
do my
music,
thing,
just
yeah.
do your thing.
So I'm talking to my wife, and I was like, "Man," she's like, "What's wrong?" No, I don't sound right. And most DJs don't admit it. The ones that are real, they'll admit, like, yeah, dude. There's times where like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm suck right now, and I'm not feeling anything. Like I'm not feeling this. And she just like looked at me. She's like, "You think you're out here for because they felt bad for you? Do you think you're out here because you're like they're just gonna be like, all right, yeah, just give this guy a shot and shut him up, and we'll send him on his way home? No, they're out here because they like the way you sound. So do what you do." She literally looked at. So do what you fucking do and stop crying.
That's good advice.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. The next day, dude, I went out there and I said, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I'm just gonna switch it up, and I just started playing like anthems, like AC/DC and like sing along songs, and people just went fucking wild, bro, just wild. And I guess at the time, these DJs that they were booking before me weren't doing that. They were playing the same top stuff, what you heard. And when I did it, like their audience just went crazy, dude. The crowd went crazy, and like they would sing along with me and like what the song and it just went. It was a hit after that, dude. And that whole weekend, I was just like, they wouldn't tell me anything. So cool. We went home, dude. 2 days after, they called me and say, "Hey, we want to book you for Miami. Do you want to come to Miami with us in 3 weeks?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Cool. And this is, give us your like pretty much my like a contract of like my right. It's called a writer's thing. So it tells them how much I want, what they got to pay for, So I was like, all right, fuck it,
I want some fucking green color Skittles,
bro.
Emma.
I went balls to the no, just kidding. Nah, I'm super humble about it. Like I told them, okay, this is what I want for each set instead of hourly, because I'm out there for I think I was out there for another week in Miami. I said, okay, cool. So I'll charge you by set. So every time I play, this is how much I'll get for that week. All right, cool. And obviously, they pay for my plane ticket, and it's like, all right, cool. So now my wife's in my contract. They pay for her plane ticket and board, and they have to pay for my hotel and stuff like that. And yeah, bro. So I've been since 2018. I've been traveling the world. I've been to some amazing places. I've been to Bora Bora, Tahiti. I played in Tahiti. Um, Miami's cool. I love Miami. Miami's always fun. I just got back from like like a tour in Mexico. I was like in Puerto Vallarta, Acapulco. Like I did like a whole like tour in Mexico. Um, where else have I been? Cozumel. Cozumel's beautiful.
Where's that at?
It's by Isla Island, so it's by Cancun, but like further down in Cancun.
Okay.
So Cancun's beautiful. I love Cancun. Um, Cozumel. If you ever want to go snorkeling,
Cozumel?
Cozumel. 100% water is like this.
Yeah.
Like you look down, you're just like, wow. Like you see everything. It's so beautiful, dude. Super beautiful. Bora Bora, it was super beautiful, but it's an island, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's not too much to do out
Nothing
there.
to do.
Time does not exist out there. Does not exist. They're islanders. The sun gets up, you get up. Sun goes down, you go down.
It's funny because in different places, man, when I've been on vacation, whether it's, I haven't gone like literally fucking nowhere, right? So when I say I've been on vacation, it's because I went to San Diego. It's
Bro.
because I went to
Go even it doesn't gotta go like this is what I tell people. They're like, man, we want to go where you're going. I say, you don't have to go where I'm going.
Mhm.
Like go somewhere, just a different state.
right, and this is what I was going to say, that even when I go in California up north, right? So Santa Barbara, above Santa Barbara, there's this little sleepy town called Del Amo. It's been there, like I want to say 200 years, like 150 to 200 years. It sounds super old, right? But they have a street, like a single street that just goes through the town, and it has like 18, I want to say it was like 1850. There's vineyards, and it's quiet. And what I've learned is time doesn't exist in those towns.
No, bro, it's
And so
super
I
crazy.
fucking love it because you're not running from place to place. You're there with whoever you're with,
Yeah,
enjoying the moment, because that's all that matters. That's all that
it, bro.
fucking
That's
matters.
it, dude. That's it. You could. There's this saying, and I'm probably gonna butcher it. You could always make money right? You can always make money, but you can never get time back, right? You'll never go somewhere. Like, dude, if you have your passport,
No.
get your passport. Just go, even if you don't go anywhere, even if you don't plan on going anywhere, just get a passport. When you get that passport, go to Cabo, bro. Cabo is like an hour and 40 minutes from us.
Bro, my brother's in El Salvador right now, right? And I'm telling him as I'm dropping him off at the airport, I'm like, oh, I gotta wait like 6 months, and I gotta do this and that. And he's like, bro, it took me a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And right now I'm watching his Instagram.
You could be there right now.
He's there for 2 weeks.
Bro.
My dad's there for 3 weeks, bro. They went to the house that my dad grew up in, and he was born in.
Awesome, dude.
You know, and I'm like, fuck, dude. I gotta go. I gotta go.
No one's stopping you but you.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just do it. Do it. No
Nike?
one's stopping you, bro.
Nike over Nike, just do it.
Just do it. I'm getting sponsored now.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I got my passport because I got that gig, right?
Yeah.
I never thought in a million years I'd be traveling. I never thought I even own a passport.
And you get to do it with your wife, man.
It's super cool, bro. It's
That's
the best
fucking
thing.
awesome,
It's the
man.
best feeling. My wife, like any relationship or marriage, nothing's ever peachy. Nothing's fucking
Hunky dory.
yeah, bro. But I truly, truly have to give it up to her. She's fucking stuck by me through everything. I'm talking about everything. The day I went to prison, the day I got arrested, even when I got sentenced and I knew I was doing all that time, I looked at her and I was like, I don't want to be with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. She already had my son, and my son, our son. she really put in the work for that. I just had fun making them.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm handcuffed, and the bailiff is taking me away. And the bailiff said, "You got like 10. I'll give you 10 minutes." I was like, "All right." I don't want you. I don't want to be with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. Just make sure our son's okay. And she literally looked at me. She's like, "I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna stay with you." She's like, "I don't care how long it takes." And I was like, "All right, I guess." Like, we're kids. Yeah, we're me and my wife. We met in high school.
Like 17?
She's a year younger than me. So I was 18. She was just turning 17. She was still 16. You know, I never really thought I was gonna fall in love. I didn't even want a girlfriend at the time when I was in high school. I just wanted to party and do my thing. I did when I was young. I did tell myself I wanted to travel the world. You know what's crazy? This is so weird. And I was just thinking about this, dude. How life works and how it comes back full circle, right? When I was younger, even though I was still running the streets, I had told myself, besides me wanting to graduate, I told myself I wanted to be a fireman, but I wanted to travel the world, and I wanted to go. This is gonna sound fucking funny. I wanted to go to London. I wanted to be a porn star.
What the fuck?
I kid you not, dude.
Why in London? Oh shit!
I don't know. I just had a thing for like Europe. I always when I was young, I always thought Europe was like the coolest.
You want to
place.
fuck a girl with a beret or like?
I don't know. It wasn't even that. It was just like it's Europe. Like if I could become famous in anything, and if I'm famous as a porn star in Europe, oh, I'm gonna be super famous in the States. And that's how it works. It's so weird. It works.
Get famous out there and then come back.
It's harder to be famous here and for other countries to know who you are.
Yeah.
If you're famous in a different country, people I wouldn't say idolize because I don't want to be idolized, but people recognize you faster in the States.
Okay.
It's weird, right? So obviously
that's what you. So you wanted to be.
I wanted to be a porn star.
A porn star, and you wanted to go to Paris.
Yes, well, somewhere in London. I just wanted to go to London.
Okay,
Anywhere
London,
in London, and I wanted to work as a porn star.
Okay.
Right. Didn't want to fall in love. Didn't want kids. Didn't want to be married. This is when I was younger. Saw my wife. I didn't even see my wife, bro. I saw my wife in one of those glamour pictures. Remember the glam pictures?
the
mall
star
pictures?
shots?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm in...
Were you walking in the mall and
No,
like...
dude. I'm going to tell you the way I met my wife. Do we have time?
Yeah,
All right,
dude,
so...
We're good.
I go to high school, right? I go to my new high school, and I tell myself I'm gonna focus on my studies. I'm gonna do good. Like I'm fucking up all the way around. I just want to do good. I'm gonna try my hardest. I don't even want to like fuck around. Like I obviously I want to fuck around with girls, but I don't want a relationship. I just don't want to put my energy into girls. What I do, obviously they give me my classes. They're like, oh, what electives? Because I'm a senior, so they're like, what electives do you want? What elective do all the girls take? I took home ec.
Yeah.
I took art. I think the high school at the time they had like a pedicure net like class. I took that. I took everything every girl took. I just wanted
Be around
I
them.
wanted to be around girls. I love being around women, dude. I like it's a lot of my friends growing up were women. They were well girls at the time, and to this day, I a lot of my friends are just women.
Yeah.
Like I just
Pretty women.
yeah, I love being around pretty women, bro.
Dude,
So
it's one of the things that I think sometimes when I'd hang out with guys, I'm like, why is there 10 guys here? Like, do you guys not know any girls? Fucking
and that
call
was
some girls.
bro. That was the thing. I've always had girls around me, so
Look.
everyone wanted to hang out with me.
Yes.
So just fucking I had women. So I'm in home ec, dude, and I see this girl, and I'm trying to chop it up with her. I'm just trying to get at her, and this dude just cock blocks me. And I guess it was her friend, right? And he's talking, blah blah. So hey, what's up, man? What's up? And we start talking, right? I wouldn't say cock block, but at the time cock blocked.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get at this girl, and it didn't happen. But we ended up talking somehow, some way. Partying came up. I was like, oh yeah, I go to parties, bro. And I started going to a lot of like the '90s, the rebel parties, and the underground parties, right? It's oh yeah, my friend goes to a lot of them. I was like, oh, and I'm thinking it's a dude or whatnot. It's like, oh yeah, I'll show you a picture. And I was like, all right, cool. Like you might know it because he's like, you might know them. And I was like, all right, cool. This dude pulls out a picture of 20 girls, bro, in the glam shot. It's fucking just 20 girls. And
Yeah.
I don't even know what any of them look like, but I just saw at the time, who is now my wife, I just saw her. And I was like, who is that right there? Who is this girl right here? And he's like, oh, that's my friend, And I was like, dude, she come here? Yeah, she comes to this high school. I was like, oh, what? I was like, cool. Trip out on this, bro. So I'm trying to get the information about her. And at the time, she has saw me and she's trying to figure out who I am.
Like the new kid at school?
The new kid at school. She's trying to figure out who I am. She's asking, she thought I was a freshman. So she's asking all the freshmen, because of course I'm little, I'm short, right? So I got to be a freshman. She's asking everybody. Nobody knows who I am, dude. They just like, no. And then if I track back a year before me going to her high school, I guess she had saw me at a party, and I knew the dude that was throwing it, and like I don't know, we were partying hard, and I think I was like I was on the speaker, and I'm like, yeah, raging out, and the dude's like, hey, he's like, Richie, get down from the speaker, bro, and it's like, get down. That was it. But I guess she had saw me at this party, so she always wanted to know who I was.
Right.
I ended up going to her high school, and she's trying to figure out who I am, and I'm trying to get the information on her, and I'm trying to get this dude to like, so we could link up with this girl, and it wasn't happening. And then finally, dude, I ended up seeing her, bro, and I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even say hi to her. I fucking like smiled. I didn't even smile with like, and like, I didn't even smile with my teeth. I just smiled, like I grinned, smiled, and I was like, hey, like I was so fucking shy, like I was super shy. And then after that, we just hit it off, and this was in 96, gonna be 97, and we've been together ever since. So, and we've been married 25 years.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's how I met my wife. Right, high school sweethearts.
It's cool, man, because sometimes you don't know, like the fact that she was at that party to see you,
Yeah,
and then it's like, wait, what the fuck?
yeah,
You were there?
Yeah, she was telling me, and I was like, no, you're lying, and she couldn't make that shit up, dude, because
Right.
it was like.
Like you were on the speaker.
Yeah, and I was at like you can't make that up. Like it was just it's destined. Like it's
Serendipitous or whatever the fuck you want to call it. One of
there you
those
go.
very
Yeah,
smart words.
Yeah, one of those big words.
One of those big words we
I'll
don't
look
know.
I'll look it up. And so it comes down to like how she is truly like my ride or die, because She could have left me easily, bro. She could have left me the day I told her that
And you would have understood.
Oh yeah, she could have. The day I got myself, the day my life changed, I dropped her. I just dropped her off at work, and I told her. And this is during the summertime. She's still in high school. She's still pregnant with my son. Um, I'm already graduated, and I drop her off at school, or at school. I'm sorry. I drop her off at work, and I say, "I'll see you. I'll pick you up later." I end up going to the Galleria Mall in Riverside, walking around, coming out. I see the dude. He sees me. We end up having words, and pride hit, and I chilled and waited for him, and saw him come out, and I went up to him and didn't say anything. He was a bigger dude. He was a football player. Didn't say anything to him. I think we like exchanged a few words, and I just, man, fuck you. And to this day, I'll never forget it. Grabbed him, pulled him down to like my height, and I stabbed him 8 times in the abdomen, and I didn't let him go. I watched him. Like, I looked at him, I watched him, I heard his breath leave his body, and I just let him go, and he fell. And I didn't even run. I just walked. I walked away. I walked back to my car. Before I walked, I said, "What?" I somewhere down the line, I just said, "All right, now you know." And then casually walked away and made a phone call, let them know what happened, and said, "All right." And after that, I was San Bernardino's #2 most wanted. I was on San Bernardino's news, like because back then we had regular TV.
Not subscription TV.
Yeah, I was San Bernardino's most two. I was wanted. I had a wanted poster, um, and got sentenced. I beat my life sentence because they were um trying to give me premeditated. That went from attempted murder because he didn't die. He died. He actually died 4 times on from my understanding and from the paperwork. He passed away 4 times on the operation table, and they brought him back to life. So they're trying to give me attempted murder. I beat the attempted murder. So, and then they try to give me premeditated, and premeditated carries life automatically. I beat the premeditated, so I didn't get the life sentence. They gave me 18 years because I was still incarcerated because I had another case against me that I was fighting. They ran all my time together. However they do it.
Concurrently or whatever?
When, however they do their numbers. So out of the 18 I got sentenced, I did 8.5 with 82% a 2-striker. So I have 2 strikes. Did my time. When I told my wife, "Good."
Does that apply now? Like 2 strikes and 3
Okay.
strikes, or no? Like, is that still a law?
I don't know. So it's so weird because I don't really look. I should look more into it, but I don't really know. But
Like, I'm not gonna get in trouble, bro.
Oh no, I did my time. I served my debt to society, as they would call it. But you're never part of society again.
Yeah.
So, they run your background. They can only go back so far now. So when I got sentenced, when they gave me the 18, I didn't know. I thought I was doing the whole 18. I didn't know until after like the paperwork went through. I was doing 8 and some change. And I told my wife, I was, "I don't want to be with you. I don't want nothing to do with you, nothing at all. I just go live your life. I don't care what you do." So, "No, I'm gonna stay next to you. Don't worry about it. I'm not going nowhere." She did it. The only thing I asked her when she was there, when I got busted, and I like went upstate. I told her, "I don't want you to come and visit me. Don't bring my son to come and visit me. Don't send me no money. Don't do anything. Just take care of our son. Make sure he's okay. I'll get home when I get home." That's all I told her. And I didn't want to do hard time. That's hard time. Hard time is family member comes and sees you, girlfriend comes and sees you, emotion, just seeing them and then seeing them walking away is hard time. And I told her, when I call you, like, I don't want to know what you're doing. I don't want to know if you're partying. I don't want to even know if you met somebody. I don't even want to know if you're hooking up with somebody. I just want to do my time. Don't tell me. Just tell me that you're doing fine, you're okay, and our son's okay. And yeah, bro. So
it's a two-way street, and I think it takes obviously a strong person like herself to still be there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And for someone to do time, man, it's it's a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare if that person is telling you how the world outside still is.
Yeah, I didn't want to know about it.
For you to say, you know what, I'm gonna completely fucking disconnect, shut out. I'm gonna go into this fucking zone that I need to fucking go into because you have to. I need to be who I need to be while I'm in here. But I can't know that shit. It just makes it that much fucking harder.
Absolutely. And you know what? Would the word be luck? No. Very fortunate. Yeah, I think fortunate that I grew up the way I grew up, because going back to growing up in the streets helped me going to prison.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people know who my dad was.
Right.
And not to say that that's what helped me a lot, but it was a respect level where my dad is at and who he is, that I was already aware of how the system worked. Before I even got there, I already knew how the system worked. I already knew what I had to do and how the law in there works, and how the politics work in there. I already knew that before I even got there. So that's what helped me. Was I scared shitless? I was fucking 18 years old. Yes, I was scared shitless. I was a noodle. I was maybe what? I was probably like 110.
Yeah.
I was a kid, and I remember going up there, going up north, going to reception. I remember it's so cliche too, bro. The Eagles Hotel California was playing on the bus, and the gates open to this big ass prison yard, and I'm tied up to like this big ass white dude, like not tied up, I'm chained up because we're linked up together, and I'm like, fuck. My stomach dropped when those gates opened, bro. I didn't know what to expect, and I knew how to act. I knew how to act when I got there. But it's a life-changing thing. Would I want to go back? Obviously nobody wants to go to jail, but I can't see myself there. Like I love what I have out here. Like I said, it changed me for the better. I wouldn't say rehabilitated me, but it changed me for the better. It changed, and I had to make the decision, not the system. The system doesn't help nobody while they're in there for shit. There two things are gonna happen when you go to prison. You either come out as a changed person because you want to come out as a changed person, or you say, fuck it, that door's going to be open and I'm going to go back because I'm going to go back to do whatever I want to go do anyways. I'm either going to get caught or not get caught. And oh, bro, when I got out, my parole officer, I was on parole for 3 years because I was it's a point system. It goes by your crime, what you did in prison, and there's the level yard that you parole out of. I was high risk. I was a high profile case. My parole officer even told me, he's like, "You'll be back. You'll be back." I see it all the time. You're gonna be back. I told him, "I'm not going back. I'm not going back." He's like, "Yeah, they always say that, but you'll be back." Bro, when I discharged, 'cause I had to do the full 3 years.
On parole.
On parole, I had to do the full 3 years. When I discharged my parole number, he looked at me. He's all, "Man," he's all, "You're the first ever convict to ever prove me wrong." He's all, I gotta shake your hand for that, because you really said, you did what you really said." I said, it's not that I'm scared to go back, because I'm not scared to go back. I just don't want to go back.
It's a horrible place to be.
I don't want to shower with fucking dudes. Who wants to shower with dudes, man? Like, who wants to be in a cell for 23 hours a day and you only get 15 days of rec time? And that's not even real. That's not even real yard time. You're still behind walls and you only see a fence in the sky, and that's your day. That's your outside, but you're still surrounded in walls. Like, I did, out of my 8, I did two years in in the SHU program, the whole program, where you're solidated by yourself. And that's like a whole nother story because, there's certain people that shouldn't be, well, they should be in prison, but they deserve more than just being in prison.
Right.
When it comes to doing anything to a child. So being solidated by yourself, bro, you do a lot of fucking thinking. You either fucking become crazy or you become a really great singer.
You know how to sing?
No, I can't sing for shit, bro. I'll tell you this though, bro. I came out really big. I was fucking. I wasn't even like yoked, like little pet bull with no neck. I was just like a little
solid.
I was solid, bro. I was like a little Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Like I had like the cuts everywhere. I had so many cuts, bro. I needed Band-Aids. I used to tell my workout partner, because my workout partner was an older guy. He was like an OG, and I always hung out with OGs. So, and he was ripped, bro, like fucking ripped, and he would see him and he's like, yeah, man, look at that. I was like, bro, like cuts for the sluts, yokes for the folks. that was the thing, but
cuts for the sluts, yokes for the folks.
Yeah.
It's I've said this before, and I don't think I'm going to change the statement. That in high school, right? There should be home ec. Guys should learn how to cook.
Oh, bro.
Right? You should learn how to fucking crack an egg. You should learn how to fucking make some rice. Like some very basic things. There should be woodwork or metal shop to be able to,
auto body shop.
Something like that.
They should I don't even know if they still have that stuff.
I don't think they do. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
We could be wrong, because I know I knew when we were like going to high school, at least for me, my high school, like the high school I went to, I graduated from, they had auto body shop, home ec.
You know what? Where Brittany works at, they do have an auto body shop. So they do fix cars with the kids and stuff like that, right?
It's a cool thing to learn.
It is because like this is your story, I think for me, validates all the fucking homies that are successful that just took a different path. We all took a different path.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times there's that pressure for kids to go to college, to, follow the yellow brick road, whatever the fucking normal path is. Don't get in trouble. Don't do this. It's like, no, that's not for everyone. College isn't for everyone. Corporate CEO jobs aren't for everyone. You could have gone through some crazy shit and then be illest rich,
but it was my decision to change, though, and I'm a strong believer in college. I really am. I didn't push my kids to go to college. I wanted them to go to college, but at the end of that road, when they're adults, they have to make that decision. I told. Me and my wife are very lucky that our oldest is majoring in finance and accounting. Our youngest is going for his doctor's. Our daughter, which is our youngest, she's only in junior high, but like she already has her goals. For high school, she wants to be valedictorian. After high school, she wants to go to college, but she wants to be a lawyer. She wants to go to Princeton.
Oh wow!
So and I was a strong believer with my oldest son. I let them make their mistakes, but I didn't let them make the mistakes to where I made my mistakes. And I always told my oldest son, whatever you do in life is going to reflect on your brother and your sister. I'm their mom. I'm their dad, and their mom's their mom. But you, as a brother, that's who they look up to. That's the footstep that they're going to follow. Because if you mess up, I guarantee you, your brother. Well, my brother messed up and he's okay, so I'm gonna mess up. I'll be okay. That's not how it works. So choose your path wisely. That's all I told him. Choose it wisely. I just don't want you to be a screw up. I don't want you to go through what I had to go through. My life could have been different if I didn't make that decision. I probably, like I said, I graduated with an honor student from I went to school with like F's, and I just worked my ass off. And I graduated with with honors. I graduated with 4 personal scholarships. If I did not make that decision in life, I probably would have went and did my fireman, and I probably would have been a fireman, right? But would I have been with my wife still?
Right.
Would I have had my kids? You know, so life is just, it's just the way it works. It's the way that either God wants it or the universe wants it. That's how it's gonna work. I went a different way. I, I'm happy and sad that I had to go that way, and that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
But man, I can't stress enough for kids to get an education.
And the important part, and you said it earlier, is, I mean, I don't think as a parent you want your kid to have a street education, maybe like the education we had.
Just common sense.
Or common sense.
It's common sense.
That's the part.
Because the smartest person, even Einstein, he
Yeah.
was so smart, but didn't know how to tie a shoe.
Yeah, like that's a good way to explain it. That's a good way to say it. Common sense.
He couldn't do the bunny rabbit thing, you know? Bunny ear here, bunny ear here, around the bunny ear, under the bridge.
Putting these presents together, bro. And I'm like, like trying to tie this stupid
the bunny rabbit
the
method,
bow, man.
The bunny rabbit method, bro.
And I think it's like every parent, you want better for your kids, right?
Absolutely.
You always want better. Mr. Biggs has talked about it. You know, Biggs has been very open when he was on the podcast. He's the one that runs house parties in the 90s.
Oh, yeah,
You know.
I know. I know of him.
Yeah, and so he was saying, he's like, bro, I grew up in the streets. I don't want that for my children.
Yeah, that's all it was, bro.
You know, I want them to go to school. Like, I want them to have a good life, and I'm going to do what I can to help them.
I didn't, as a parent, and I could have easily just said, nah, do
Right.
whatever you're gonna do. You'll make it. I made it. You made it.
Right.
But I couldn't do that to my kids. I wanted so much, and I got out, and I went out. Dude, I had so many jobs when I got out. Nobody wanted to hire me. I was a felon. I was a convicted violent felon, as the system says, right? So they would go through when you do the background check. No, we can't hire you because you have violence on your history. Well, it doesn't mean I'm violent. And yeah, but you know, you went to prison. All right, cool. My first job when I got out was at Ashley's Furniture, and it was all the way in Temecula, and it was a shit job, bro. I hate moving furniture. I don't even like moving furniture now because of that job.
You're traumatized.
Yeah. And then I got a job. I went through multiple jobs. I got a job at a hydro place, which sold like sprinklers and shit like that to landscapers, right? I got a job as a delivery driver. Believe it or not, I have the fucking best record at driving. Like, out of all things, right? I got a criminal record, but I got a hell of a fucking driving record. So I got a job doing that, and then I was making good money at the time. And then one of my cousins, he's like, hey, you want to go in construction, dude? You want to go painting? I was like, yeah. All right, cool. They're like, you'll get paid this. I was like, all right, I don't know shit about painting. Actually, I take that back. I did. So when I was busted, they have classes in there. So you work, you get a job. I was a janitor, and I only made like 2 cents. That was it. And I had to clean. I was just the janitor. And then I took a class. I took a painting class. That's how I learned how to kind of paint. And so I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I know a little bit. So I got a job as a painter. And so I got into the construction world, and I just went at it, got yelled at all the time because I was always screwing up. Just got better and got better at it. And then years came by. Bro, I wake up 4 a.m, go to work, throw on my boots. Wake up 4 a.m, throw on my boots. As I got older, my son was just like, oh, I want this. You know, kids are kids. So I was like, you're gonna go to work with me. So you want something, you're gonna go to work with me. So I took my son to work, and the first thing I told him, I said, no one's gonna be a bigger asshole than me. No one's gonna ever make you cry more than me. Just remember that. And he didn't understand that at the time. And so he went to work, and he just fucking hated it. He hated it, bro. Like, he's get up at 4 a.m. I gotta go to work with my dad. Dad's a dick. He's an asshole. He's always yelling, you know. So as he got older, my son got it. This was my younger son. My older son, he's already doing his thing, and he got his job. You know, graduated high school, got a job, and he comes home one day and he hugs me and looks at me and said, "Dad, I just want to tell you I love you and thank you." Okay, for what? What'd you do? You know? And he's all, remember that time, Dad, you told me that no one could ever be a bigger asshole than you and no one ever make me cry but you? I said, yeah, why? I don't know. He's all, you're right, Dad. Nobody could tell me something and it won't affect me because no one's a bigger asshole than you. And I didn't get it. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? He's all, well, my boss was trying to be a big asshole to me, and I told him, I was like, yeah, my dad's a bigger asshole. You're all right. What do you need me to do?
It's like,
Yeah, he like, so it doesn't affect him. It doesn't make
Yeah.
him weak,
right.
like in a work environment. So he gets complimented all the time. He's the youngest, one of the young, not the youngest, but he's,
the younger
one at where he works. And the older people that he works with tell him, man, you're not like everyone else. You're not like these other kids.
You're not
like,
soft.
Yeah, you're not lazy. Like you do your job, you do your job, you do it right, and you don't complain. He's oh yeah, my dad taught me. I used to go to work with him. He's the biggest asshole.
It's lessons, man. It's lessons
Yeah.
from your father that I think you know, I think that it's what you were saying earlier about kids, maybe society or whatever, maybe how soft, certain people are, but teaching them young and teaching them common sense and giving them the opportunity to get an education,
Yeah.
right? I think college, the way that I understood college later was more like it helps you think. It opens your mind. You might
Yes.
not, you know what I mean? Like you have this wealth of information to open up your mind to different things that the real world might not necessarily provide for you.
Yes.
But the second part is exactly what you did with your life, which is take action with it, right? Make that choice. I have a lady, dude. Obviously, what I do for a living is finance, right? So
Right.
I have a lady. A couple months back, her student loan debt's I want to say between 100 and 150,000. She makes less than $5,000 a month. And so when we're looking at it from a success standpoint
Yeah.
of that, totally,
Right.
she went the wrong path. But then I have other people that have maybe 50,000 in debt. They make 150,000, and they have this different lifestyle that they give themselves the opportunity on. And so, with you teaching your son that you're going to be the biggest asshole, that's a lesson that he's never going to forget. That he's going to be so highly appreciative of from his father. That didn't come from, let's say, a teacher, but you're the best teacher that he could ever fucking
Yeah,
have.
it's a different. Everyone has their methods. And,
Yeah.
It's
hard though, because as a parent, you never have a fucking. No one tells you how to be a good parent.
There's no guidebook. Right? I don't care how many. I don't care how many books on parenting Barnes and Nobles has. There's no guidebook for it. Your kids are your kids forever, whether they're 75 or 3 years old. They're still your babies. To this day, I worry about my boys. Right, my oldest son lives in Irvine. Has a super nice place. I worry about him all the time. But I could close my eyes knowing that he could take care of himself because of the way he was raised. That I don't have to worry about him. Like he's not gonna be taken advantage of. Our youngest son, he's still in college, so he lives with us. There's times where and you know what? All the shit I did and all the partying I did, my boys don't do that. They don't party. Like they'll go out social. Like my oldest, he goes out and socialize with his friends. He'll go to a club here and there, but he won't do it on a weekly basis like I did. My youngest son, he doesn't drink at all. He doesn't even like drinking. I taught my boys that if you're gonna drink, it's okay, but don't be a drunk. There's two different things, and I'm gonna teach you that. So I taught my boys, you want to drink? Let's drink. When you feel a head change, just a little, like whoa, like a little woof. Get some water. Drink like 2 cups of water,
Pump your
and
brakes.
then go for another drink, but don't drink it fast. Sip on it. Socialize. Talk. Why would I do that, Dad? Because you never ever want to be known as the friend that, oh, here comes so and so. He gets so fucking drunk. Great. Now we gotta babysit him. Oh, I never thought about that. Oh, yeah, because you'll always be remembered as the drunk friend.
Yeah.
Never just the friend. Never like the friend that'll call like, hey, you want to go hang out? Just go have a drink.
See, and that's I think a better strategy than my parents. I think my parents. I'm so thankful for so much shit.
Oh yeah.
But there's that one strategy where my dad doesn't drink. My dad's like, my dad was a fucking, and like, to put it nicely, my dad was a fucking asshole. But an asshole that I love.
Yeah, of course.
Right? My dad was a dick. My dad was a jerk. He didn't let me do shit. He was so strict, bro.
Yeah.
So strict. So.
And that's why a lot of kids get into a lot of things because of the
Yeah.
no's they got from their parents. So they're, well, you're gonna tell me no, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Oh,
And
bro.
I'm gonna do it like twice as worse.
I was sneaking out to party, bro, at like sixth or 7th grade. I was sneaking out to go to fucking nightclubs.
See, and
Like-
there's a boundary. Like I tell my kids, you want to go out, that's fine. If like when my oldest, or me and my wife's oldest, when he started like driving and like he was of age to like go out and drink, I used to tell him, I don't care. Like, you want to go out, but think before you do anything. If you feel too drunk, don't get in your car. You call me. If you ever get in trouble, rather you started it or rather someone else started it, even if you got arrested, don't be scared to call me. That's what I'm here for. Like, will I be upset or be angry? Yeah, because you woke me up at like 3 a.m. I'm gonna be super bad, right?
Like, damn, fool, I'm trying to
Yeah.
rest.
Like I gotta go to work. I was always and I didn't have that though. Like as growing up, I just knew like I'm with my dad. Like that's all I knew. I was always with my I was always with my dad. Like I said like earlier, I was with my dad all the time. I see my dad do everything. Got shot at with my dad, and I'm like 6, 7 years old. I see my dad get in fights with other gang members. As like that was my life. Like it was just about gang banging and living in the streets and making shit happen. That was it. I didn't have a shitty life, you know. It's so weird. Like I remember as a small young age, at one point we lived in it wasn't even a fucking house. I think it was a shack. It had no electricity, no heat. I think we had candles. But we had a roof over our head. And my dad did what he had to do to put food on the table. And he did it. He always did it. Always did it. And then, you know, my dad had awesome jobs at one point in his life. He used to work for the fucking state. How he got that, I don't even know. And so anything's possible. Like anything's possible. It's how you put your mind to it. It's how you raise your kids. Unfortunately, nowadays kids are having kids, and they don't have those morals and passed down to them. So, and that's what it is. It's morals that get passed down from generation to generation. Like I grew up getting my ass whipped, like all the time.
Ditto.
Like, and it wasn't like my dad. My dad never hit me.
Your grandmother.
No. When I lived with my mom was like, my mom was super abusive. Yeah, fucking anything, extension cord, fucking hanger, fucking back. I got hit with everything, anything and anything. My mom used to beat me and my sisters the fuck up. We were like, I won't get deep into it, but we were fucking abused by my mom, like being hit twice. Before my mom and dad had gotten divorced, my dad hit me once and he didn't hit me, he fucking socked me in my rib. Like fucking like just wham, hit me and knocked the wind out of me. And I think it's because I called my mom a bitch. I'm more than sure that was the reason why. That was the only time my dad hit me. But I don't know, dude. Like it's crazy how morals, like, but my dad was really big on like morals. and
Like teaching you
teaching me
lessons, sitting you down.
yeah,
and,
like even though we were raised like I was raised the way I was raised, it was always to make sure I said yes, thank you, and please. Never yeah or what. Oh, dude, what was the worst one in my fucking with my dad? What? What do you mean what?
right.
Like, you know, I'm not your
I'm not your homie.
friend. Yeah, like you don't say what. Like,
Yeah.
you say yes, thank you, and please. Right? You give respect to get the respect, and that's I always learned that. Right? So I pushed it down to my kids the same way. You know, and my kids don't say yeah. They don't say, you know, if I call them, they don't say what. Come here, like you know, I'm calling you for a reason. You know, so and I always tell my kids the way the morals and things that I teach you that needs to be pushed and passed down to your kids when you're ready to have kids, because nowadays it's fading away. That's why the world the way it is, because the younger generation got no guideline of respect. They don't know what respect is.
Yeah, dude. People have told me like, damn, dude, why do you always like yes or no, ma'am, miss, excuse me, thank you, please? I'm like, because it's the fucking right thing to do. And my dad taught us,
Yeah.
you know, to be courteous, to speak to people with respect, to not disrespect someone, not let someone disrespect
Yeah.
you. My dad told me that, and so I've I don't know. You wanna keep going or?
I'm cool with that if you want it, bro. I could talk all day. Sometimes my wife's like, dude, you talk way too fucking much. I don't know, man, because I didn't talk to a lot of people.
Is
Well, you
it?
know, I talked to myself a lot at one point in my life. Fucking, I had no choice.
You know what, man? Honestly, for me, I sit alone with myself a lot, and I've said this plenty of times. Trying to ponder shit. Sometimes I
Yeah.
don't. I there's certain things that wherever your mind's going, I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to say this yet. I don't know if I want to say this out loud yet.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're thinking, your mind's going different places.
Oh, bro, absolutely. Like when you asked me to be on, I didn't know like how it was gonna be. It's my first podcast. I never been on a
Yeah.
podcast before, and
Is it okay?
it's cool. I like it. It's super dope because like it's like almost like a therapy thing. You know, like if you connect, and you could just vibe and start talking about anything, right? I really don't tell my story to nobody. A very few people know my story, very few, and the ones that find out, they're like, "Wait, what? There's no way you went to prison. Like you don't even like what? No, you don't act like no, you're lying to me." And I know I tell them, they're like, "Wait, that's fucking weird." Like if you ever come to my house, dude, so
It weirds people out. I think
it doesn't weird them out. Like they're more shocked because the way I present myself, I don't present myself as a
they don't see that side of you.
Yes.
They don't know who you were. And I was talking to someone about this. I don't know, maybe yesterday or the day before. Oh yeah, 2 days ago. Um, it sucks, man. Like when I was going through my alcoholic phase,
Yeah.
that I think some people still see me that way, right?
Oh,
And they don't know
yeah.
that I've changed. And I've always said I've always been me, right? My heart's good.
Right.
I've always been I would say a kind person, a loving person, but there was a side of me that fucking liked alcohol. And so if people met me during that time and that's all they saw, right?
That's all they'll remember.
That's all they'll remember.
Because they don't see the growth.
They don't see the growth.
Yeah.
And so I was telling this person, I said, you know, I was judging someone. And I said that I don't see the growth in that person. And I said, maybe I'm seeing myself in them. I think sometimes when we don't like someone, someone rubs us the wrong way.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucking see myself in him.
Yeah,
He's like, what do you see?
yeah.
I'm like, he's a little arrogant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got a little bit of that in me.
I see that. I get that a lot with certain people. I'm like, man, there's something I just don't like about them.
Something I don't like about him.
And it's that saying is because you see
You
yourself.
see yourself,
Yeah.
part of yourself,
Yeah, part
right?
of yourself, not all of yourself.
No, not all yourself.
Yeah.
But it's nice when like having a conversation with you, like where you and I have never fucking had a long ass conversation like we're having now.
No, bro.
Like-
well, we met in the party scene, so
That's what I'm saying. It's
nobody
like,
sits down
hey,
and like,
what's
hey,
up?
man.
Hey, man, how you doing? How
Yeah.
your feelings? You know,
Yeah.
you want to chop it up, and so it's cool because I feel that I'm blessed with a lot of friends,
Right.
a lot of acquaintances that can impart some fucking knowledge, unwilling knowledge onto the world. That's positive. Because you've said so much shit today, bro. When I look back at these, I'm like, fuck, dude. That's fucking amazing.
I gotta take my jacket off because
Yeah. That's a dope jacket, by the
I
way.
want to show my muscles. No,
Yeah.
thanks, bro. It's from the natives.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so it's all.
If I wear it, am I gonna get in trouble?
No, it's all just Native American history on it.
Oof. That's
So-
dope right there.
So everyone can see it. Yeah.
That's
And
fucking
then
sick, dude.
It just has the years of like things on it. It says war paint as 1778. Just cool shit, dude.
Where'd you get it?
From a client. So it's these cats on Instagram. I just found them, and they only make these are only made so many. So they're like special,
Like limited design.
Limited design. So they make them. It's called native. So it's just natives.
It's just dope, dude. I like
I have
it a
another
lot.
one from them. It's reversible, and it's super dope, dude. My reverse one I love. This one's like my favorite one right now.
That's sick.
Thanks. So, but yeah, what was I saying? Shit, I forgot. Got caught up.
I don't know. Well,
I was gonna. Oh, so if you go like when you come to my house, bro. So
hold on. Before you say anything, I see your girl always post the little things that you do around the house, or the lot of things that you do around the house. I'm like, fuck.
I don't know what she posts, bro. I mean, we follow each other, but
well,
we live with
she
each other,
posts
so
that you do shit like handyman shit.
Yeah,
like you know how to do shit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, bro. 100%. I
she
love working
posts
with my
that
hands.
stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that shit.
No, I just don't mix records. I also work with my hands. Like real shit, dude. Like, I mean, so when me and my wife decided to take the leap as adults and buy a home, I guess she had this thing. She never told me about it, right? So I just like, cool. We bought our home, whatnot. And I come home one day and she's like, hey, I have a surprise for you. Don't come in to the house yet. I was like, all right, cool. So I'll let you know when I come in. So finally she lets me come in. And I walk into the door and she's like, all right, don't turn around. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, fuck. I'm thinking DJ stuff. I'm like, yes. She got me something expensive.
She got me new needles.
Yeah. And so she's like, all right. She's like, I had this vision in my head. And I told myself when we get our house that I'm going to do this for you to give you inspiration every day you walk out of the house. I was like, okay. She's like, all right, turn around. And I was just like, holy, what the fuck? Wait, what? So what she did was she made a mugshot wall.
Okay.
So we have a wall in our house. So when you walk in our home, you can't see it. But when you walk out our home, it's there for inspiration. And it's called the musical bad boy, musical wall bad boys, right? So it's Prince's mugshot, it's Johnny Cash's mugshot, it's Frank Sinatra's mugshot, it is Bowie's mugshot, and in the middle it's my mugshot. And she says it's for you to look at every day you walk out of the house to never forget where you started until where you're at now in life, that you worked very hard, even though society may see you like this, but you know where you're at in life now. I was like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, she had told herself when we buy a house that she was going to make a wall just for me. So they're all in black and white. I think it might be on my Instagram too. If you go far down enough, it's somewhere down there. So it's all these famous artists and it's just me.
Well, first of all, that's fucking dope.
Right, dude. That's what I said, dude. I was like, "Whoa, what the like super, super like creative, very like inspirational." Of like, like wow, like I like that was me. That was me. And like people come in, bro, and they walk out, they have to come back in because they're like, wait, is that you? Richie, is that you? Like, yeah, that's there's no fucking way that's you. I don't even look like you. And they're like, yeah, that's me. Like, wait, you because I don't really tell nobody my story unless somebody asks about it or if it comes in conversation.
Yeah.
They're wait, is that like fake? Is that like Photoshop? I'm like, no, that's a real that's a real mugshot from prison. Like it's my mugshot. I have my mugshot from prison. And I mean obviously I didn't have long hair. I was shaved bald headed, you know. And every day I walk out my house, it reminds me of what I accomplished in my life so far. And that's what gets me motivated, dude. Of like, all right, like I was I was that, and now I own a home, I own a business. A successful, semi great DJ. Um, I want more. Like why would I want to go back to that? Like why? Like if I could give like anything out of like if anybody could get anything out of this, it's knowing that you could do anything. Rather you come from nothing or rather you come from everything. Like you could still make something out of yourself. Like you never have to worry about you only stop yourself, really. Like yeah, it's real talk. The only person that's stopping you from doing anything in life and being successful or being famous or just being happy is you. That's real it.
It's I go to not often like Laker games, right? Or fucking sporting events. And
Floor seats?
yeah, I need to buy me one of those. Some of those, bro. I look them up, man. I look them up and I'm like,
it's super expensive, bro.
man.
I'm not a basketball player. I'm more of a baseball guy.
Or just even that, right? Like baseball, for example, right? If you're a baseball guy,
You could do basketball. I'm cool. I don't hate it, but I just not my thing. I'm short, bro.
Yeah, they almost drafted me, but they said I was too tall. So even I had this stupid thought, bro. I know it's a stupid thought because it's so basic, right? But when I've been up at the Laker games, and sometimes I'm in the nosebleeds, and sometimes I'm really close because a friend gets tickets, right? But I always think these motherfuckers are the same as I. Like they're down there performing, they're down there playing, but all they're doing is playing a fucking sport. Like I have this thing of like thinking about things very dickishly, and then the other side is like very like nice, soft, or whatever. But sometimes when it goes the dickish side is where I start thinking the adoration that others have for the ones that are down there. But in reality, we could all be down there. And then like I look at the caste system. Well, obviously the higher up you sit, the lower on the caste supposedly you are,
Right.
because the less money you have to be able to all that good stuff. But what the painting stuff that I do, the podcast stuff that I've been doing, I've been seeing things, and I've been seeing things that I like, and I'm like, if they could do it, so can I.
True.
If you could do it, so can I.
Absolutely, bro.
Like we were talking earlier about the saxophone, right? It's like if you dedicate enough time, effort, and energy, commitment, you can learn how to play the saxophone.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I saw. I don't know what fucking reggaeton artist, but I literally saw a reel today.
It's had to be Bad Bunny, bro.
No. Nah.
There's
some other dude.
There's no other reggaeton artist.
There's no other reggaeton artist. So he's saying, and he's like, I'm a big reggaeton artist. I don't know who he is, right? So he's like, but our music is fucking trash. Our music is trash.
Oh, I may be wrong, but I just read about it. It might be Daddy Yankee.
I don't know,
because Daddy Yankee just recently is not going by Daddy Yankee no more.
Oh, really?
He is going by his real name, which is a pretty cool name. I don't know his real name. It sounded cool. It still sounded like an artist name. But he's not doing reggaeton no more. He's like doing gospel music.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I guess he converted his life to Christ and all that stuff. So it could have been him.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I'll show it to you.
No.
So what he's saying is the reason he goes, I'm an artist. I'm in this genre. I could talk shit. So the reason he's saying that reggaeton is trash, he said, because you have these people that went to Juilliard. You have these people that really learn how to play instruments, compose music, and all this shit. And then you have some kid over here with like beep 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 beep, and then just like saying lyrics over it. And so he's like, I understand those other artists that will shit on our music. They're gonna fucking shit on what we do because it seems so simple, it seems so basic, and then yet they tried. They went to school, they learned, they did all these things, and they're like, at some point, it's okay to understand that they fucking hate on us, but then they start maybe appreciating right after some time.
It's like
So what you're saying about the turntables and the vinyl versus switching over, it's like you could appreciate it, but it took some time.
Absolutely. It's I forget her name. Oh my gosh, underrated artist, bro, and like a lot of people. I mean, if you know, you know. But it's a group. They're called the Internet.
Okay.
Girl, super amazing voice. The whole band's just freaking amazing. But she gets like no credit at all, dude. And like she actually wrote all the songs for Beyonce's last record. And she's so good, dude. If you ever get a chance, listen to her. They're called the Internet. Super sexy. It's like very, very like, I won't say lo-fi, but it's just like soul. It's
like
real
the Marias.
Oh man, I can't explain it. It's like
I'm gonna listen to it on the way home.
Yeah, bro, just listen to her. It's super. It's sexy, very like soulful. Like it's got groove into it. Some of their songs got groovy stuff, but a lot of it's just very like, it's not baby making, but it's like it's in there kind of
R&B a little bit. No.
Yeah, but not the R&B you're gonna be thinking. When you listen to it, you're like, "Oh, this is nice. I like this."
Yeah.
And her and you ever heard of shit. I hope I don't mess it up. I think it's 2 feet.
No.
Or I think it's 2 feet. Oh, dude. Bro, listen to them.
The Internet and 2 feet.
I think it's 2 feet. I think it's 2 feet. The Internet for sure. I think his name's 2 feet. But bro. Like, and I didn't really get into a lot of like different genres until I was doing my time.
Let's see.
Who's that one? Oh, that's the Internet. Oh, dude, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Reminds me of Dunya.
There you go. Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah. Reminds me of Dunya.
Bro, it's like, it's super dope, super chill. Like if you just want to just.
Oh, I could turn this shit up fucking loud as fuck, bro. With the bass and you're fucking driving at night.
If you just want to just be with yourself, like your thoughts, and just like whatever not, bro. I didn't, honestly, and I'm not gonna take credit for that. My wife put me on to them, dude.
Really?
Like
screenshot this shit.
She's so music like inclined. It's not, bro. You would think like sometimes like, dude, why are you not a DJ? Like what the fuck? Because you know so much shit. Because she comes from like a musical like family.
Well, dude, that fucking thing that she did for you is so inspirational. It had to take, thought for her to do that for you, man. For someone to be so connected with your emotion and to know what it's going to mean to you.
Bro,
it's like she knows you.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Like
she knows you.
There's nobody else in this world that knows me better than her. Like,
that's dope,
my
man.
own parents don't even know me the way she knows me. Like, minus besides my kids, like, bro, that's I would probably be the first one to admit it. I'd be fucking lost if I lose her. Like I wouldn't even know what to fucking do in this world. Like we pretty much grew up with each other. Like we were both kids.
Yeah.
Like, we went through everything, I mean everything, but from not having a house, for living in a 1-bedroom apartment with her mom, for living in a room with 2 of our kids, to renting houses together, to not knowing how we were going to pay rent, not knowing how we were going to pay our car, to losing cars, to where we're at now, you know. Oh,
It sounds, I don't know, like I think to some, it sounds like, oh, shoot, no.
oh, damn, we
Yeah,
went
no.
overtime.
Yeah, dude.
Damn, my bad.
We're at 3.5 hours.
Oh
3 hours.
shit, dude, my bad. That's a lot to go through, huh? Oh, it's pee pee time.
Bro,
Pee pee break.
I'm telling you, my fucking bladder, man.
You went pretty long this time.
did.
unless you were holding it. You're like, fuck, I don't want to stop.
I'm serious.
My compa, he doesn't drink no more. And I mean, he was. Well, you met him. Gabe.
Probably. I mean, I have to go back, dude. I wish I could go back to all the pictures.
You met him. I know you met
From
him,
back
bro.
then, bro.
He used to like. He was always at the club with us, bro. Like, but
That was good times, man.
bro.
I had so many good times and good memories.
Some great memories. So he's my compa. It's like he's my daughter's Nino and my son's Nino, and he stopped drinking. I think he's going on 2 years. 3 years now. And I never thought he would ever stop drinking, bro. Like, I mean, this fool fell asleep and woke up with a beer in his hand. Like, but he was that funny drunk. Like, you couldn't even tell he was drunk. That's how, like, he didn't start problems. He wasn't a violent drunk. He was just like, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
He either passed out or he didn't pass out. Never once ever saw him throw up though either. Like that, but he substitute, like he had to substitute something. Like,
it's like an addictive personality, right?
Yeah.
Like you pick something up, you just kind of, or at least for me, I have an addictive personality. Like when I start editing or when I start doing shit, it's like I gotta get it done, you know? Or,
yeah, but he doesn't smoke cigarettes though. He smokes weed.
Yeah.
He had a substitute. I was like, yeah, no, it's cool. But so I can only imagine, like, even you when you stopped drinking, like, fuck, bro, you probably were just a mess.
It was, I was at the lowest point in my life, man. And it goes to what you were saying about like making your own personal change. You know what I mean? Like, it either changes you, right? Like being in there, or it changes you for the better, or it just keeps you in that circle. Like, it's like a revolving door to keep going back to it.
Yeah.
And you had to make that choice, right? It's a choice that you make. And someone told me, it's like, oh, well, drinking, like, it's some people kind of like they don't have a choice, and I'm like, no, they have a choice.
Yeah, everyone has a choice.
You got a choice, man.
Yeah.
The way
choice, bro.
this big motherfucker, dude, this big guy, Debo looking motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
When I used to go to these classes, he said there's two things he said. One of them was, he's like, you guys, some of you guys are in here for wet and reckless, right? And you guys are saying like, I wasn't that drunk, it wasn't that bad. He goes, how many times you get away with it? How many times you drive home drunk and you got away with it? Thank God it was a wet and reckless, and thank God it wasn't fucking you killed someone because you were drunk. So be thankful for the position that you're in. And he said, number two, he's like, quit digging that hole. And he's like, and the first step to stopping to dig that hole is put the shovel down. Like, put the shovel down. Like, you dug yourself into this hole. You made choices that got yourself to this situation. So he's like, put the shovel down. And I just remember looking at him, like, it hit me. Like, damn, this motherfucker's right. Like, I keep making bad choices. I keep choosing to stay here, right? Yeah. And so it's that compound effect of making better choices every day.
Oh, yeah.
Better choices every day.
Every day. And it's not always going to be.
No, it's
like
not.
It's sunshine. You're going to have your moments and you're going to be like, fuck this.
Yes.
Like, but if you could get through that, bro, you just made yourself even 10 times better than what you were when you woke up.
There's this dude that I met there, older gentleman, like very old, maybe like 60. And I remember I was outside. I used to live in West LA. I think it's West LA, Culver City,
Yeah, that's West Oak.
West LA. And so we're in Santa Monica, right? You can feel the beach breeze. One of these quiet little streets, and he tells me that he's like, man, I wish I would have learned this at your age. I was 28 when I got sober, 20, 27, 28. Between 26 and 28,
Yeah.
right around there. And he said, I wish I would have made the choice at your age. Because I was beating myself up. I was beating myself up because I was 26, 28, like, and I had lost everything. I feel like I grew up very fast because of what I do for a living.
Yeah.
I started to make a lot of money when I was really young, like really young. And I started to live this life that's a life of a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, like, and I had to become this person to do what I do for a job, which is like I have to mature, I have to grow up.
Yeah.
And so already at 26, between 26 and 28, I had lost everything. I had lost houses, I had lost cars, I had lost my self-worth. And so it was a one-day decision, dude. Like a one-day decision that was many years in the making. But one day, like I made that decision. And I had tough moments, man. I had tough moments where I'm like, especially when I didn't have support from a partner.
Yeah. Right.
Like I didn't have,
Yeah, it was just you, and so that makes it even fucking.
and then your partner's fucking getting drunk
Ugh.
in front of you, and everybody else around you is getting drunk. You feel alone.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than feeling alone when you're supposed to be with someone. That's why, like what you're saying about your girl, like what she did, it's like she sees you. It's like, I see you, man. I see the mistakes you made. I still love you. I'm gonna ride with you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be there for you. And that is irreplaceable. No amount of fucking money, no fucking money can replace the love of a good woman.
Nah.
Fuck
Nah,
that.
bro. It's like I said, it's never always been the best, and that's with any relationship. But there's moments where I'm just like, man, I am very fucking lucky to have her. Like I am so lucky to have her because I mean, bro, and my wife's beautiful. My wife's gorgeous. I don't know what the fuck she saw in me at all.
You're like,
So
"But they didn't have filters back then,
yeah, I
bro."
don't know what she saw in me, and but to still have her from high school, like, dude, I'm super lucky.
Oh shit. I'll clean this up in a bit. Fucking let it stay.
But yeah, dude, like she did that for me, and so every day it's a reminder, and of just I could do anything. That's basically what it is I could do anything. If I was if I fucked up that bad and I lost all those years of my life, like, and I'm here, like now where I'm at, like I could do anything. So like earlier when I was saying, because it like hit me when we were talking, when I was telling you how like I wanted to travel when I was in high school and like be a porn star and go to Europe and all that, right? Obviously it didn't happen. Had kids, got married. But if you fast forward, how everything comes into a circle, dude. I end up being in the adult industry anyways. Like that's how crazy the mind works, and like how you could have anything you really want. It might not be exact what you want, but it's gonna be within that ballpark. I end up like being in the adult industry no matter what. I produce and I DJ for the whole show.
When you say, because I asked this one, and sorry to go on a tangent, but
No.
I was at a event from house parties in the 90s, and I was talking to one of the DJs, and I was asking him, I'm like, hey man, like, do you actually make music? Like, I'm not asking in a bad way. I'm not, because some people might be like, what the fuck do you mean? No, I'm asking like for real. Is it just like you mix stuff, or do you take a song, then fuck it up, chop it up, add extra stuff, and then it becomes yours? Or how does that work?
With the award shows, you can't use any you have to be creative. You have to come up with your own shit.
Okay.
because it's for copyright reasons.
Okay.
So yeah, come up with my own shit. Like,
Is it like one of
keyboard,
those boxes?
yeah, and you find samples like online, like everything's digital, so it's so easy now.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I don't have a guitar and I don't know how to play the guitar, so I'll go look for a guitar riff. I don't have, I don't have a drum set at my house, so I'll go on Ableton or whatever program you may have. You go and look for, drums, bass line, stuff like that. You come up with stuff like that, and your keyboard, you come up with different stuff. Just hit it, figure out what's gonna sound. And you'll find a loop. You could find loops like from song like samples, but they just can't. Like from my side, they can't. It can't be that's like you could grab like a little smart part of the sample and bring it into what you're already creating. So now it's yours. You're creative. Like, that. But that's been going on for generations, like for decades with music. Um, let's use Lady Gaga, right? Her first album.
Okay.
It's all from Madonna's first album.
What do you mean?
All not her writing songs, but
Not the lyrics.
not the lyrics,
Okay.
but the beats. It's all from Madonna.
It's
It's just up the tempo more. Like the tempo beat is up.
mm,
But if you listen really, really carefully, there's samples of Madonna's albums and her first album and Lady Gaga's first album.
Gotcha.
Like Biggie.
mm.
All his stuff is from old school.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
soundtrack, like tracks. Dr. Dre does the same thing. He samples stuff from Motown, from jazz, from artists from back
When
in
you
the
say
day.
sample stuff, it means like they're taking pieces
Mhm.
from it, right?
It's just a piece.
Okay.
They're taking a piece and they're warping it. They're pretty much they're either gonna have that little piece, and you're gonna either warp it into a different type of sound, or put up the tempo, lower the tempo of it. And then you're gonna add your own creativity to it. That's every
I
artist.
love
does
that shit, man.
Every artist does it. Unless you are multi-talented and you know how to play the drums and the guitar and the bass and you have the vocals and this, like, you just fucking the whole package, and hey, bro, you're gonna create your own shit. And that's super badass. I think that's amazing.
What got you into music anyways? Like to the extent of like wanting to actually fucking DJ?
Being in prison.
Okay. Really?
Being in prison. And when I was 14, I went to a Power 106 skating ring party back in the days. Power 106 used to throw parties at skating rinks for all ages. I went to one of those and I saw a DJ and I was just super like, that's badass. Like, and I'm like looking at him and I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at him. I'm like, he got control of everybody. Like
He's a pipe piper.
yeah, like he's the puppet master. He's making everybody move. Like that's cool. I like that. So in '94, I got into it, but I didn't get into it. Like I was just like, I want some turntables, so I got some turntables, but I didn't fuck with it. Like it was just there. It was there. Like I had them. I was that kid. Like, oh yeah, I got those.
Right. Like a toy.
Yeah, and I kind of just was still doing my own thing. And then when I went to prison, I would listen to the radio all day, every day. And at one point I was just there and like my turntables like came to me. Like they just like, how do you say it? Like I had a moment of like, I had like a moment to seeing that DJ DJing and the people dancing. And then me having my turntables, then didn't do nothing with them. So I would listen to Power 106 all the time while I was in prison, or whatever radio station it was. I know at one point because I went to different prisons, but when I was in Central, when I was in Tehachapi, we got Power 106. So I listened to that all the time. I listened to the Baker Boys all the time at that time, and I was like, man, I want to DJ. Like I want to get into like my music again. Like I want to do something. So I listen, bro. And I would write down music songs and like try to mix them in my head, and like I was just trying to keep myself occupied,
Yeah.
you know. And when I got out, I still really wasn't into it because I was just freshly out, and I just like wanted to go buck wild. I want to go party. I want to go do all types of shit. I wanted to like try everything I didn't try, and I did it. And then I got the opportunity for my wife's cousin, actually. She's like, hey, she's like, ain't you like DJing? Like, because I had like my whole setup still. And I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah. My friend throws parties, which was who now is my like one of my best friends, Starlet. She's like, um, let me ask if you could DJ. So I said, all right, cool. So yeah, she let me do, and I was DJing for her clubs, and there were lesbian clubs. It was all in West Hollywood, so I was DJing for like gay and lesbian clubs, and I made a name for myself. And then people from Riverside, promoters started knowing it, like recognizing who I was, and I start DJing out here, and kind of just went from there, bro. And music really kind of saved me. Like, it kept me out of trouble. I mean, kept me out of trouble, but it was still there. But it it really did help me. It really did, and I mean, like, and obviously I needed a job too. I got to pay bills. Um, so working and trying to DJ and trying to make a name for myself kept me busy.
It sounds there's this thing about Morrissey and the Smiths, and Morrissey has talked about it. It's like the songs that saved my life.
Yeah, yeah.
And so to me, it's like it's music that saved my life.
Music really saved me. Um, yeah, bro. Like life is what you make it. I can't really stress that enough. Like life is really what you make it. You could be somebody, you just don't know it. You could be anything you want. You just don't know it until you try. You're gonna fail. Guarantee you're gonna fail. I'm not. Yeah, it's 100%. You're gonna fail and you're gonna hate it, but don't give up. Failing and quitting are two different things.
You told me that.
Failing is you failed. You didn't accomplish it right away, and it didn't go your way the first time. Doesn't mean you got to give up and quit. That means you're learning from what you did, and you're not going to do it again. So now you're building a stepping stone of accomplishing that fail that you messed up on, right? Quitting is just like, I don't want to do it. I tried it once, and that's it. I'm done. Now you're a quitter. You don't quit. Failing's okay, because you're gonna learn from that. You're gonna learn from your mistakes, and you're not gonna do those again. So it's okay to fail. Just don't quit.
Yeah, I agree. It's what they say. I fell forward. Les Brown, he says, if I can look up, I can get up.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Guys, if I can look up, I can get up. And
Yeah,
he has
bro.
this preacher voice, man. Fucking Les Brown is amazing, dude.
It's bro. If you're lazy, everybody sometime in their life will hit rock bottom. You will hit rock bottom.
Life will fucking hit you.
Yeah, it will. It definitely will. And you just got to be strong and just like, you know what? I can't get no lower where I'm at. So the only way is back up. And you hear it all the time. Everyone says it, and I'm not gonna say I'm like a positive coach or mentor of positivity.
Why not?
Like,
no.
it would be awesome to travel the world and just talk about like my
Yeah.
life and hopefully send a message out of it. That'd be awesome. I would love to do that. Like, I would love to tell my story to the world and let them know that anything's possible. Anything's possible. Somebody like myself could go through what I went through, was raised the way I was raised, and still be and accomplish things in life. And I'm not even done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still pushing for more, bro. You know, I it's okay. It's okay to want. It's okay to be selfish and say I want that and I deserve that. That's okay. You should not want things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It does. It's I was telling a friend, she was she came to visit a little earlier before you came, and she has a clothing company, and she was telling me about like people and prices and how much they're charging and complaints. And I said, look, man, you don't get what you don't ask for.
Yeah.
I said, so right now when we did the toy drive, there's some kids that ask for Xboxes and PlayStations.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, some might think that, like, why the fuck are these kids asking for this? When I look at it, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
ask for it.
Yes.
Because you know what? There's some people
that will get it.
Yes.
Yes, dude.
And if you don't fucking ask for it, how are you going to get it?
Bro, closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly.
Closed mouths do not get fed. There's a difference of asking and begging, you know.
Right.
And even if you beg, just remember, beggars are not choosers. You know, you get what you get. As my daughter, when she was little, she would always say, "You get what you get, and don't throw a fit."
That's a fucking shirt right there, man. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Yeah, bro.
That's a good one.
I seen that like when we went and man, I was stoked like to be part of that, to give back to a child, you know. If I could, bro, and you know, I would, dude, give me all of them, you know, because to put a smile on a child, anybody, not even a child, and a grown adult, they need it. That's I think a lot of people forget that grown adults still need that comfort of like, wow, there's good still. People still do care. And a smile, dude. Smile goes a long way.
There's a friend who does adopt a senior.
Oh,
right?
No way.
Yeah, dude. So it's like, you know, when you're young, again, it's not your fault, right?
Right.
When you're older, it may not be your fault that maybe your kids are gone, or maybe you decided not to have kids. Maybe you made that choice, but they do get lonely during the holidays,
bro. So, okay, so a lot of people don't know, right? So, I'm like a jack of all trades, I guess. I'm actually, I love talking to older people.
Yeah.
I love like volunteering my time to senior homes and like talking to them. You learn so much. I said that you learn so much. You learn so much, dude, from the wise. They've been through so much, and people like forget. Like they've been through it. They've been through it first. You know, that 80-year-old man or that 62 young lady that just has no one, and they just want to be talk. They just want to talk. Like they just really just want someone to listen to their day, or like, oh, you know, I'm having a good day or I'm having a bad day. Because my dad, he used to work at a like a retirement home for the elderly, and I'd go in there with him. I was young, dude. I would love to talk to those old people all the time. I don't know what it was. Maybe that's why I'm like the way I am too sometimes, like the old soul thing. Because they just like, man, like, wow, you did that. Oh, you went through that. Wow, that's crazy. And I'm over here like, yeah, man, I just went to the liquor store.
It's the stories that I used to like listening to from like my grandpa, my dad.
Yeah.
There's just this I love it. And so you guys were a part of like the foster children's lives, right? And we do that every year. And people tell me like, dude, you don't have kids, you don't like kids. What the fuck? Why are you doing this?
What? Really?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do to put the like helping children?
Exactly. Right. And so this older lady, I was walking in from outside earlier today, and older lady was walking out. I held the door open for her this morning. Oh, so when she said thank you, she goes, "Have a Merry Christmas." Very nice, very sweet. yesterday when I went to go get my injection on my fucking foot, which hurt like a motherfucker. I was holding the door open for this lady to come in, and she goes, "Oh, I'm such a slow poke. Hold the door for me." But I was already holding it,
Yeah.
and I could see her smile. And I've had so many older ladies or men. There's this sincerity behind their appreciation of a gentle tone of kindness.
Oh, absolutely, dude. My thing is, I learned this from a buddy. He didn't even tell me anything. I saw him doing it, and then I asked him, "Why do you do that?" And because it was odd to me, right? So what I do now is when I meet, you know, a woman or an appropriate age of a girl, um, say you introduce me to your friend, right? We're out and your friend shows up and you're like, "Oh, this is my friend so and so. This is my oh, nice to meet you." I grab her hand and I'll kiss her hand. It's old-fashioned gentleman like. That's what they did, and I didn't know that for a very long time. So my friend used to do that all the time. Well, he still does that, and I'm like, and I would see, and I wouldn't say anything, and I just in my head, I'm like, that's fucking weird, dude. Like, why are you kissing her hand, right? And so finally, I was like, hey, bro, like, why do you always kiss a girl's hand when you meet them? And he's all, because that's what gentlemen do. It lets them know that they're still special and that no matter what, you're always pretty without telling them. Damn, that's so smart, bro. So I was like, are you serious? And like, I didn't. So they did that a lot in like the 30s and the 20s. That's what they did. It's a dapper thing to do for a man to gently grab a woman's hand and kiss her hand and let her know that it was very nice to meet you, without telling her like, oh, you're very pretty and you're very nice to meet you. And so I do that all the time now, dude. All the time. I honestly randomly started doing it because like I was like, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see if I get slapped or like we're like looked at and like so a few girls, few women, they don't catch it right away. But I had a few be like, oh wow, thank you. What? For and I nonchalant for what? Gentlemen don't do that no more. Men don't do that anymore. And it made me feel special. Oh, you're welcome. I was like, yeah, dang.
And see, this is the thing. It comes from a sincere place of wanting to give someone something, and that is a smile, right?
Everybody wants to feel special.
You're not being a creep about it,
right?
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, let me kiss your hand. No. It's like, no, man. Let me try this, and to have the fucking balls to do it, which is another story.
Yeah. Because I was at first I was like, oh, and I was like, oh no, and then you know what? I don't even think my wife like catches it now. I think it's like to the norm because I just do it randomly, and like, and my wife's super cool. She's just like, she doesn't question it. And I'm a hugger. I love giving hugs. It shows. I don't know what it shows, but like, I'm a hugger. But I'm gonna hug you. Like, I'm genuinely gonna hug you. I have a pet peeve of when someone hugs me and they pat me. I'm like, are you trying to burp me? Like, I hate, dude. Or that, like, if you don't want to hug me, don't hug me. But don't side hug me and then burp me. Like, that's the worst. Like, I feel that's not genuine. And like, oh, it's very nice to. I'm glad to meet you. Even like a goodbye. Like, oh, it's super nice to meet you. And people don't do that. They don't have genuine to them no more. It sucks. Like,
it's what I'm a hugger too, but I love giving people compliments.
Oh yeah, bro.
I love it because, and it's not because I want to get in good with them. It's because I notice shit. I'm very observant, right? What you're wearing, how you did your hair, what perfume, cologne you have on, rings, colors, nails.
Yeah.
Friends that know me, they're like, dude, you're literally look at everything. I'm like, yeah. I notice every fucking detail. You're like, oh, that's scary. I'm like, why? At the end of the day, I'm just like, dude, I love your earrings.
Yeah, because people, especially when you go out places, right? People dress up to impress. They want someone to notice. They don't put it on because they don't want to be noticed. There's a difference of dressing up really nice and just dressing up like you want to just be looked at. You know what I mean? We all know what we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if somebody's dressed really nice and, you know, she's...
Dude, even if it's a dude.
Yeah, even that's what I say. Even if it's a dude.
I'm just like, yo.
If he's dressed handsome and the girl's dressed very pretty and very just... They're out to impress. And you're like, you compliment them. That's why they got dressed up for, to be complimented. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I've done it a few times with like dudes. Oh, bro, I like your shirt, man. That's a really nice shirt. Oh, dude, like your shoes or your pants, like, bro, like your hat's dope. Like your hats are always, dude. Your hats are always fly, bro.
Mike, give this one to me.
Here you go, ma'am.
Yeah. Mike gave this one to me. But yeah, dude, I think it's a kind thing to do, to give people compliments, to hold open doors, to say thank you, to be. I don't know why it seems like the little tiny things that you and I are talking about, they're so just normal to me. When other people don't do it, I'm just like, why is it so much to ask for? It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know.
Door holding thing is a big thing to me. Like I even if it's, you know, even if it's a guy, like, if I'm walking before you and I see you very close by, I'm gonna hold the door for you. Like,
of course,
you know, it's manners. It's proper manners. That's what it is. It's not trying to be Rico Suave, not trying to be smooth. It's manners. It's a proper etiquette.
I don't fucking get it, bro. But fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different, I guess, bro. I mean, not everyone's got the same cloth, or I don't know, bro. But yeah, dude, I like what you're doing right now, man. Like, this is dope. And
no, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming here, being open, sharing.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Anytime. I would love to come back, bro. Maybe talk about like other stuff. You know,
we'll do it somewhere. Maybe go on location. I don't know, whatever the fuck
that'd be
you call
dope,
it.
dude. Summertime, dude. We could probably do it at my house.
There you go. We could do that too. And in tangas.
Yeah, if you want, bro. That's your thing. I know, bro.
Nah, only on Tuesdays, bro. And we're not filming on Tuesdays. Anything that you would like to impart or leave as a final message?
Yeah. Be you. If I could give advice to anybody out there that watches this, and I know you probably got like millions, so we're talking to millions right now.
Yeah.
Don't ever quit. Don't ever give up. You know, failing's okay. Fail all you want. You're just gonna learn from it, and that's how you grow, and that's your growth right there. But don't quit. Whatever you want to accomplish in life, accomplish it. You could do it. Trust me. You could do it. It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen a year from now, but the universe will give you what you ask for. It might not be in that form that you ask, but you'll get it. I promise you that.
Go get it, my friends. I appreciate you, my dude.
Thank you, brother.
Oh yeah. This was fun, man.
It was super dope, dude.
Now let me fucking clean up this fucking coffee mess.
I know. I seen it. I was like, oh, bro.
No, as long as it didn't land on one of my paintings, man.